Hello, everybody, and welcome to this very special all directors edition of a Girls Run These Worlds stream. We have a very special guest, Lauren, who is going to be our GM. You know her, you love her. We are excited to play with her, but we have a couple of channel announcements to get through first, and then I'm going to pass it over. So first, this is the third of 16 holiday one-shots. We were doing 16 one-shots in 8 days. We had 2 yesterday. Go check out the VOD after this. And then we've got more. So right now, obviously, this is what you're watching. Oops, all Kobolds, a Radiant Citadel adventure with 6 of your 7 directors. And then tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, a very Morkborg Hanukkah. Lauren will be back for that, and we're super excited. Fleet is going to be the intrepid GM for this heavy metal reimagining of Hanukkah. Heavy medical is pitch that. Somebody pitch that idea. I'm here for that.
Waterdeep anatomy.
Morkborg Hospital. Let's go. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. you're going to see the 5e Cozy Festival with Anya. At 7 p.m. Monster Hearts 2 with Angela. And then they continue all week. We have Ink. We have Under the Floorboards, which is like Borrowers. We have a Regency Winter Masquerade. We have a Vampire the Masquerade. Coffee and Chaos, where everybody is in customer service, the worst of all timelines. We have Tales from the Loop, Beak, Feather, and Bone, To Serve Her Wintry Hunger, Bluebeard's Bride, and then wrapping it up is our very own Mo, that ish way, with I Saw Mommy Kissing an Ancient Red Dragon, the holiday classic one shot. So thank you all for being here. If you are new, hit follow. If you have a Prime sub, continue or consider supporting us with that. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Lauren. Thank you for being here with us.
I am very happy and very honored to be here, and I'm here all day because yes, you've got me DMing the show, and then I will be back for some Hanukkah chaos. I'm excited. But for now, if you don't know who I am Lauren Urban. I'm the content coordinator over at Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. You can find me on the socials as OboeLauren. We're going to take a moment, even though I'm pretty sure everybody in the audience probably knows who all these wonderful people are. I'm going to give them a chance to introduce themselves. We're going to go in the order that they are on my screen. Angela.
Hello there, lovely people. My name is Angela. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the director of operations for Girls Write These Worlds, the publishing house wing of the These Worlds organization. I suppose, do we want me to do the character bit as well? Or do we want to wait on that one?
We're going to wait on the characters.
We're going to wait on that one.
Yeah,
I remember correctly. I'm going to shall I be the one to pass it over to someone else?
Well, let's actually go to, because I'll go in the order that I'm on my screen, or else I will lose track because that is my brain.
Bless.
I know, right? Sarah.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah. I'm the CEO here at Girls Run These Worlds, and I am one of the founders also. And I'm so excited to be here.
As am I. And Mo?
Hi, it's me, Mo. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm the Chief Financial Officer at Girls Run These Worlds. Happy to see you all here.
And happy to see you too. And Ryu?
Hi, it's me. I'm the Ryu. It's me. I go by she, they pronouns, and I am the director for technical productions here at Girls Run These Worlds. Shenanigans afoot.
All the shenanigans. And Darcy?
Hey friends, it's me, JC Darcy. I also use she, her pronouns. No, I don't use she, they pronouns. Either's fine. I'm the director of operations at Girls Run These Worlds, which means I've had a hell of a couple of weeks bringing this all together, but I'm so excited that it's now happening.
And I'm excited as well. And Gian.
Hello, my loves. It is me. I am Jen or Gian, really up to you. Or my mom, if she's mad. Pronouns are she, they. I'm your director of information technologies, which means I am the one hounding all of you for your, I need this for the website. And that's me.
Awesome. And as I said, I'm Lauren Urban, she, her, and I will be playing everybody else in the world who are a variety of pronouns. And if everybody's all set, shall we just jump into the game?
Yes.
Let's do
Awesome.
it.
Let's do this. Toit Gelta is dead to begin with, as dead as a doornail. In life, Gelta was the shrewdest of moneylenders and the business partner to my uncle, Achtknecht. Even after years of being dead, my uncle never actually painted out Gelter's name from the sign. So here we are on the Radiant Citadel, years later, and the sign still says Necht and Gelter. But there's no doubt Gelter's dead. Now, you really need to understand that, or else nothing wonderful can come from the job I'm hiring you to do. See, my uncle was once a very kind man. Years have just made him bitter and cold, and the partnership he had made it worse. Necht and Gelter shared a love for one thing: making money. They were tight-fisted, hand-to-the-grindstone businessmen, a pair of squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, coveted businessmen, hard and sharp as flint and making each other sharper with their pairings. I don't know any one thing that turned my uncle sour, and nothing I have tried all these years have sweetened his heart again. I believe he only came to trust Gelter. And with his business partner long dead, Necht no longer trusts anyone. So I believe my uncle's only hope of redemption, to try to love again, is to hear that suggestion from Gelter himself. And that is where you six come in. See, tonight, as you well know, is the night before Reclaiming Day, the day we celebrate the rediscovery of the Radiant Citadel. It's said that the spirits of our ancestors are drawn to the renewed light of the auroral diamond on this night. Now, tomorrow there'll be all the celebrations and festivities, but tonight the Citadel grows quiet as folks retire early, contemplating loved ones who have come and gone. Most are going to go home and enjoy a long night and think about those that they have lost and not seen in a very long time. But not my uncle. No, my uncle is going to be in his office late, like he is every night, long after the clerks have gone home, long after the blackout curtains have been drawn, long after the archdruids have summoned the clouds to blanket the citadel in fresh snow. My uncle will be toiling with his books. So I would like you to go and convince him that the spirit of Gelter visits him in his office tonight. I want you to warn him that the joys of life need to be found and experienced before it's too late. Get in, haunt him, and get out without being discovered. Give him a reason to listen to me tomorrow when I come and ask him to join in the celebrations. My funds are at your disposal. Anything reasonable that you need that can be obtained in a few hours will be yours. So what do you say? And is it at that point that your employer looks at all of you and turns specifically to Ellie? Ellie, would you describe yourself and your reaction to this little business idea?
Hello there, everybody. My name is I'm Ellie Knuckle. Sorry, it's been a bit difficult. I woke up this morning and I turned to the side of the bed and I saw that my wife was there, and I realized my day could in no way get any better than it's ever been, because I get to be near my wife. And then I looked to my other side and I saw my other wife, and I was even happier. My reaction for the most part is that this seems about a roundabout way to have a honest conversation with someone, but considering the kind of family that I've come from, this is pretty par for the course. So I'm pretty excited to be involved with this. In terms of description for Ellie is kind of a squatter. She's on the taller side of kobolds. She's kind of like reddish greenish scales, but a lot of them look like they started to lose their luster at this point. And she kind of covers herself mostly in like nice cozy cloaks. She has this long red scarf that she's kept for a long time that just looks like, for anyone of arcane persuasion, it's been mended like millions of times at this point, but it looks like it's been hand knitted, and she like grasp it like a little comfort stim every now and then. And then she has a reinforced staff that she keeps around that she uses like a mace, but it's not really a mace. It's just, she's like, I don't really like to hurt people too much. I'll put them in the grave if I need to, but I don't really like to hurt people if I can avoid it. I'm more of a viewer of the grave than a facilitator to the grave. Unless you hurt my wife, and then I'll kill you.
And the nephew nods at all this. And as you talk about the love you have for your family and your wives, he says, well, then you understand how much it must hurt to have someone who has turned away from their family. Trust me, you are correct. Honest conversation would be best, but I have tried for years. And so this scheme may be a little out of pocket, but hopefully it works, because I've heard amazing things about all of you, including you. And he turns to look at you, Ethel.
Oh, wifey, I take issue with the fact that you think you were the middle of our sandwich, but you know what? That's for another time. Listen, my good friend, and she turns back to Ochnecht. Am I correct in that?
So he hasn't actually formally introduced himself.
Thank you.
I will give you his name. It is Nishay Necht, which is his name. He is the nephew of the person that you have been asked to haunt, which is Ochnecht. Yes, I know. These names mean something. I'm so sorry.
I'm here for it. A Jacob and Marley kind of, this is the vibe I'm getting. Nishay. She turns back to Nishay and she says, my friend, all you had to say was that he lost the spark of love in his life. And with wives and friends like these, how could we do anything other than fully step up to this challenge? You have my claw.
And what does Ethel look like?
Oh, Ethel is by far the oldest, which is true in real life too. She is over 100, nearing her twilight years, which as a twilight cleric is meaningful. And she is almost her scales, much like Ellie's, have just unlike human hair, which kind of grows white from the shaft, my headcanon is that the white is at the tips. So very like 90s frosted tips, kind of a look. So like a very, very dark midnight blue, and then the white frosted tips. Thank you, Lulu, for the gift subs. And then the white frosted tips going up. And it gives her kind of like a, kind of like a chevron pattern almost across her coloring.
Awesome. And Nishay turns to Mubold and says, and you, are you in with the rest of your companions? And would you please describe yourself?
Mobald is young and edgy. I like to think of them as skinny buff. So like kind of short, slim, shoulders for days, right? Very Dorito shaped. And Mobald is sitting there kind of arms crossed with her long sword tip touching the ground, making a small dent in whatever the ground is. I don't know if it's wood or tile or something of the sort, and kind of dragging her thumb very slowly up and down the hilt that's wrapped in a black bandage of sorts that's also wrapped around her hands in the same fashion. She's fully gray scaled with black chainmail with a nose ring. She's pretty much the young edgy wife, and she takes that job very seriously. All right, so you Nishay, no shame, whatever your name is, very nice to meet you. I gotta say, this is quite the operation you got here. I don't think that you're gonna get a better group of folks anywhere in all the Citadel. You know what I mean? And it's a great thing that you've got me here, because I'm kind of the queen of charisma. So if you need to give somebody a talking to, I'm glad that I'm on your team, and I'm glad that you're on mine.
That all sounds wonderful. You all came incredibly highly recommended, including you. And he turns to Kianana. Did I get that right?
Kianana. Actually.
Oh, I missed an Anana. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, there's a silent one in there, but that's fine. You see a purple-skinned kobold with very useless, very small wings at the back, long ears, along with some one broken horn on the right side. And you will always recognize her, them based off of a very, very heavy-looking pen that they keep on their side for any and all quick snacking needs. And smacking needs. But that's, neither here nor there. And you have my pen.
Oh, that is good to know. And snacks are incredibly important. And he
Oh, yes,
looks
you need one?
always. What snack do you offer to him?
I reach into this little pocket that's, honestly, it should be way bigger. And I go in and I'm almost halfway in the bag as I pull out two choices of a bar with looks like a bunch of very sharp edges, but you could or maybe not be nuts in it, and then a non-nut option just in case you have allergies.
Oh, the non-nut, please. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, very chewy. I like it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you, my friend, and he looks at you, Giacomo?
Giacomo.
Giacomo.
Don't worry, everybody struggles. I should get a name tag. Don't worry about it. Can I get one of those? Can I get the nut option? I skip breakfast. Thank you very much there. Yeah, just to clarify here.
I always get you.
Thank you very much. I know we like to rely upon you, and I appreciate you. Are we gonna do some real spirit? Or are you after a facade? Because we got you. Just like pointing at his twin, because you will see that Giacomo and Giuseppe are twin kobolds. They're pretty short, and they are both bards of very different schools. Giacomo is very kind of brash and from the streets of the mines, learned his magic from tapped into the Song of the Earth itself, College of Creation bard. Oh my god, I'm so excited. So he is very much a rock musician.
Awesome.
And so he kind of gestures at both of them and says, we could do a great performance here. What are you after?
Well, honestly, I think I'm more after the performance. I haven't met anyone who could actually commune with the spirit of Gelta. And to be honest, I'm not sure if his former business partner would want my uncle to change it all. So maybe it's best if your talents lie in the performance aspects. I think that's probably for the best. And he looks at the final kobold of this group, Giuseppe.
I mean, I'm only here because Giacomo is here. Giuseppe is apparently my cat's in the way of my roommate. Identical to Giacomo, except his scales have been very obviously polished down to a shine and maybe enhanced a little bit with a little bit extra red. And where a tattoo might be on a kobold, instead of ink, there is a gold inlay in some carvings in his scales that kind of twists up and down his arms. His most dramatic and notable feature is an ornate dark gray velvet cloak that begins with a treble clef in one corner, a bass in the other, with an original composition that Giuseppe himself wrote that swirls around the fabric of this cloak. And he takes great pride in challenging people to sight read it. He's like, I'm only here because Giacomo told me if I didn't, well.
You can stop being such an embarrassment. You can act like, yeah.
I act proper. Thank you very much.
Giuseppe went to college. Thinks he's so fancy.
There's a giant cat on the bar table.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Fluffy, please get out of the way. Go, go, go. Just absolutely is here for the snacks and the friendly claws. My apologies. I hope none of you are allergic. So, does anybody have any questions about anything? I know I've asked kind of a big deal here, and we have all day to plan. But that's kind of the deal. I'd like you to sneak on in and convince my uncle that his late business partner wants him to go and live a happy life.
And we're talking about, when you say go and live a happy life, you mean kill him and send him to the afterlife? Is that not? I might be
Or
picking up
scare
the
him
wrong
out,
vibe.
or perhaps scare him out of town.
No.
Scare him to death?
Scare him to life. I would prefer alive and still
Okay.
here, so that I would love nothing more for a change of heart, for you to convince him that when I show up tomorrow morning to invite him to the festivities, that for once in the last couple of years, he actually says yes and wants to go and be with people again. And that's going to be very hard if he's a corpse.
So we don't want him to run off and join his dear, in being dearly departed.
No,
It's always good to have a backup option. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I guess if it doesn't work, your backup option is to come back here and you will all be invited to the party for snacks, and we'll just let him continue to be miserable, which will be sad. But no. I would like you to leave him alive. Unharmed, except for the change of heart, metaphorical change, not physical. Yes, Ellie?
A transplant.
So do I have this correct in saying that that you're looking for us to put the fear of God, or at least some sort of God or deity or celestial figure, or perhaps infernal figure, into his soul, but direct that sort of fear into wanting to spend time with you and embrace life and all of the wonderful things that it might unfold despite its tragic, fleeting nature and all of that?
Yes, I think that's actually a very succinct, although mentioning a lot of different deities and fiends decision. Yes, absolutely.
I believe that we can accomplish that. And you do not need to worry about the possibility of death befalling your relative. I can ensure for you that should he approach the grave and come to the death's doorstep, that he will not be forced to in any way, shape, or form, forced to walk through it. We will avoid putting him at death's door, but if he approaches it out of our control, then I will make sure that he ends up walking away from it.
What a beautiful stage play it will be.
It's very reassuring.
All right.
Snatched
Just
from
real
the
quick.
clutches of death that we may or may not have caused. It's fine.
Nashini, how much of a Scrooge are we talking here? Are we talking like guys just gonna let us walk on in and get right on out, or are we talking like traps for days?
Great question.
Yes, I don't believe that the office is trapped in any way. It'll probably be locked. At some fairly hefty locks. He is a suspicious uncle. But he should be the only person in the office. Like I said, all the other clerks have gone home to celebrate the holidays, like most normal people here on the Citadel. But I don't believe you're going to have to worry about anything nefarious, just a standard door. I can give you the layout of the office if you'd like.
Yes,
that
and
would be
also
perfect.
Yes.
perhaps his greatest fears, greatest hopes, most fervent dreams.
Oh, but,
His
yes.
favorite cookie recipe. Yes.
Favorite. Okay, let me see what I can do. And Nishay pulls out a parchment and a pen and begins to roughly sketch a fairly simple office here on the Radiant Citadel. It's one story, basically 3 rooms. The front room is what you would now consider an open plan office floor, just a couple of desks. He tells you that Necht and Gelter, they run a money lending service, and they mostly work with some of the larger companies on the Citadel when they're moving goods and or getting startups going. And so there's a lot of paperwork, a lot of tracking of things. It's all very meticulous, kind of boring work, but kind of important. So the front office is where the clerks stay. They all have individual desks. And then there's 2 rooms in the back, both of which enter into that big main area. The one on the right is a filing and storage room. Nishay doesn't actually know all the details of what's in there. He just knows it's a bunch of filing cabinets. And on the left is his uncle's office, which he describes as being a very boring, very stodgy office with a big table, a big desk, and the only comfortable thing I think that my uncle owns is the desk chair, and it's probably because he sits in that thing 12 hours a day. It's not healthy for him or his back or his knees. I don't understand. But yeah, he lays this all out. There is only the one entrance on the front. There is a window in the main area of where the clerks are, but no windows in the back. It's in the trade district of the Radiant Citadel, which normally would be bustling and full of people, but considering tonight is the eve of the holiday of the reclaiming of the Radiant Citadel, it should be a ghost town. There should be nobody around. So as he lays kind of this basic floor plan out for you, he looks back at Giuseppe and says, fears, wants, and then cookies it was? I think that's what we were looking for.
That was the cook, yes.
Yes.
Preferably something that reminds him of the good old times. Something that would bring him out of the funk and into the itis.
Oh, mine are white chocolate macadamia.
No one asked you.
But those
And
are
also,
good.
I have them already. Here you go.
Thank you.
That is a good friend.
Might I ask what? Might I ask one additional question? Do you happen to know the languages that your relative speaks by any chance?
Oh, that is an excellent question. Hold on, let me look at his character sheet.
It's so handy that you have that written down.
Well, I tried to come prepared for all of the questions that you might ask.
I
So
like you as an employer. I like when people have this shit together.
As you guys are all discussing, you just hear like a because Ethel has just crashed real hard. You just wake her up when you need her. She's just like slowly nodding off. She's got like her quarterstaff and she's just resting her chin on it.
As beautiful as the day that I met her.
Oh my god.
if she needs a pillow, please let me know. But otherwise, okay, so a few answers to your questions. Well, obviously he speaks Common. I believe the only other thing he speaks is Elvish. He has one of his clerks who does most of the translating when necessary. Cookies. When he was younger, when I was very, very young, for the few years that I knew him before he turned sour, I know my mother used to make the most amazing sugar cookies. Really simple recipe, but the softest, most absolutely pure sugar cookies. You'd bite into them, they'd still be warm and just melt in your mouth, but just really big, fluffy. If you ask him now, I believe that he will complain about how cookies are frivolous and how they're not necessary for a wholesome diet. Yes, I know. It's sad, really.
Kahanaha's hand reaches towards the pan and just starts shaking and like white knuckle. What?
Like I said, his heart has turned sour, and with it, all joy out of life. It's very upsetting. It's one of the reasons I can't ever ask him. I can't ever get him to go to the festival because all he sees is frivolity. He doesn't see the joy. Thus, the sugar cookies and the lack of sugar cookies. So let's see. So you asked about the wants, desires, and fears. I think it was.
Yes, wants, desires, fears, anything that can be used to emotionally manipulate.
Okay, wants. Well, right now, honestly, it is to make money. It is just disappointing at best. When he was younger, he had some other hobbies and things. I don't exactly know many of the details. I was very young at the time, and he was already with his business partner starting a successful business. So right now it is all about making money and saving money, and I believe that's how he counts his wins, is how much he has in the bank. But I do know that he used to have some other hobbies. I'm just unsure what they are. let's see, fears. Well, right now it would be losing all of his money, which is also very, very sad.
Giuseppe's just like scribbling in a notebook, and y'all can see as this is happening, just it's not like an actual list, it's just a large letter in large letters. The real money was the friends made along the way.
Before, so like I said, there was no specific thing that I know of that turned him cold. It just happened over time. Before it happened, he did used to be a very loving, doting uncle on his family, very much interested in spending time. He was always very cautious around his finances. He was never very lavish, but it was never a thing that obsessed him so. And so when I was younger, I remembered spending quite a lot of time just telling stories and wandering the Citadel. We'd take some of the trips to the founding civilizations to go to their festivals. It was all about experiences. And then very slowly, those experiences were wasteful. They were too much money for what you could use this money for. And that's how things went. It was very sad.
What does he use his money for? If he's got so much of it.
To be honest, I don't think he uses it for anything. I can't be absolutely sure, but I believe, if I wasn't completely convinced he is just a regular human, I would think he was a dragon, the amount that he just hoards it. It's disconcerting. I could be wrong. I do not know all of his finances, but I really do think he's one of those people who just believes that money is the tally sheet by which you decide if you won at life.
Ew.
Exactly.
That's a
Does
shame.
he have any loved ones? Other than you, of course.
Well, it depends. If you were to ask him, he would talk about how he has relatives. I do believe he still has affection in his heart for his family, for us. I don't think he remembers how to show it, but yes, I try to see him on a very regular basis. I'm frankly the only family member who still does. And so I would like to think at some level, he still does love me. And I think he still does love the rest of his family. They've just kind of given up on dealing with his crap.
How would you feel about being used as bait?
Giuseppe!
No. I think that is I've asked you a very weird job, and honestly, I would want to know more details, but if the end result is I get to have a wonderful day with my uncle again, then use me as you will.
You probably wouldn't die.
That's
Giuseppe kind of like nudges
reassuring.
Ethel. Giuseppe kind of nudges Ethel to wake her up. I'm sure we can probably make sure that it comes out as a heroic tale of some sort.
And my claw.
I will add, I am hopeful to be alive to take him on the excursion to the festival tomorrow.
I'm sure they have festivities in the afterlife, absolute worst case.
Yes, but then that means most of us have to be dead, and I would prefer us to be alive, at least for tomorrow. But
yes, that's fair.
I'm trusting. I trust your claws. I will put myself at whatever disposal you need. Ellie,
and my bow, holding up the violin bow,
and your wonderful musical instrument.
If I might ask, sorry, I had to adjust for only the 4 digits on the claw real quick. I can actually confirm there are quite a lot of festivities that do happen in the afterlife. But Giuseppe, I think the goal is not to facilitate having to see them more quickly. I still remember the crypt incident that I do recall. You required me to come in and solve your I believe we termed it mistake.
There are no mistakes.
Oh wait,
just
I
happy
wasn't supposed to
accidents.
tell you that. I'm sorry. You told me not to let Giacomo know about that.
I know.
There are no mistakes. It was simply an exercise in improvisation.
Improvisation doesn't often lend in multiple deaths or potential deaths.
No deaths.
Shut your fuck.
No deaths today. No deaths today. I understand. So, my friends, we know things, I'm sure, have learned. I heard sugar cookies vaguely. The only thing that matters. Do we need anything else? Or do we have the address?
Yes, he's actually written the address on the rough
Fantastic.
map of the actual office space. And the Radiant Citadel, while it is large, think of it like New York City large, in where even with an address, while you might not know the exact location just by looking at an address, you're all familiar with the city enough to know, oh, it's over there. And then when I get close to the streets, I know where I am. So you have a really good idea where it is. It is across town. So it is, it'll take a little while to get there, but it's early in the day now. And you know that once evening comes, that's when everybody clears out and goes home. So you have the day to plan. And Nishay will offer his living room essentially as a place for you to plan and work out of, so that he can be at your disposal in case you have any other questions or need anything that requires the funds that he could provide.
Are we assuming that there is also some extremely powerful magic that's operating to ensure that any form of public transit actually runs on time in the Radiant Citadel?
Let's not
Or do we
get
have
too
enough
ahead of
magic?
ourselves.
Yeah, I was about to ask, do we have enough magical power in the Radiant Citadel to allow that to happen?
Oh, yeah. So for those of you who are, all the kobolds here are all very familiar with the Radiant Citadel because you've either lived or worked here for very long. But the Radiant Citadel, one of the reasons that this issue with his uncle is so odd is because the Radiant Citadel is filled with people who take care of each other. The actual ruling body makes sure that all people have a place to live and access to food and healthcare. The whole area is just taken care of really well by the people who run the place. It is kind of an egalitarian mixing pot society that most people are very, there's problems, there's issues, but it's a relatively happy place. So to find someone so consistently miserable is an anomaly. And so to answer your question, yes, the trains run on time. And you can absolutely find, to be honest, you could walk across the Radiant Citadel to this place in about an hour and a half, because you're on the opposite side. But there are plenty of magical means to get you pretty much anywhere you need pretty quickly.
Oh, I gotta go to the paint store.
It's not the time, Giuseppe.
Not for me, for the Grumpus.
You think painting will cheer him up?
So, we've got some time to do a little bit of planning, and tomorrow you're going to come and invite him to the Reclaiming Day ceremony, and we need to have his mind changed and his heart opened, metaphorically, as she looks at Giuseppe. By then, that's the basics.
Yes, hopefully tonight when, like I said, tonight is superstitiously when the spirits of people who lived on the Radiant Citadel are most likely to visit. I don't know how actually accurate that is, but that seems to be a popular belief. And
Tonight,
so if
it's accurate.
Oh, that's good to know. That's excellent. So that's why I figured tonight was the best night for him to be visited by his business partner. And so hopefully tomorrow when I show up, he has had his change of heart. But yes, you are absolutely correct.
And we've seen a picture of the business partner. We know what the business partner sounds like.
I can provide that, absolutely. And he rummages around in a table and pulls out a drawing of two figures, two humans, that it actually looks like it was drawn quite a while ago. It's a little bit of an aged parchment. Whoever the artist was did a very nice job. It's a very realistic portrayal of two middle-aged men. Nishay will point out who they are and say that this was a drawing that was commissioned about 15 years ago. So both have aged a little bit more. And this is about 5 or 6 years before Gelter has died. And you can see that Toit Gelter, the person who has passed away that you are going to hopefully be ghosting today, he was kind of a tall, lanky human. In the picture, he's wearing a very smart business suit. He has slicked black hair tied in a little tiny ponytail down his back. He's got big, giant eyes. They look like big brown eyes, and a smile on his face that is, it's almost a smirk. It's not quite reaching those big brown eyes. And he is standing arm in arm with a much shorter, much rounder gentleman who will be pointed out as Ochtnecht, the uncle that you're going to be visiting tonight. Ocht has a frizz of what looks like black with pepper hair, so salt and pepper graying, a big bushy mustache. He's also smiling, although in this picture, he looks a little bit more like a genuine smile than the smirk his business partner has. Oct is wearing what looks like overalls and a long sleeve button down shirt, and is holding on to something in the picture. It's like intentionally blurry in the picture. Whoever drew it basically focused on the people, and everything around them is a little bit like portrait mode. And Nishay speaks up and says, "This is one of the last fun trips my uncle went on. He was kind of, he managed to go on it because they convinced him that it was a business trip. It was one of those things that apparently business people do, where they take other business people out on a trip, and during the trip they talk business. I don't really understand it. I thought it was kind of odd. And they went fishing, and apparently he caught a fish and was very proud of it. I don't remember if it was a big or small fish, but that's what he's holding. And you can now see there's a line in his hand, and there's like the very, very tip of a little fish mouth. But yes, he gives those to you. He gives that picture to you so that you can see both of them. And he tries to imitate his uncle's voice, but it's very obvious that this man is not the performer that you are. And so he says, well, I mean, he's much older than I am, so he's got kind of a gravelly voice and is a little more gruff than me. That's basically what he's, yes, much like that. Very, very good, very good, yes.
Is Giuseppe able to identify, I know it's a stretch, perhaps
I love it when it starts like that.
It is perhaps the kind of fish that it is by its tiny gaping maw.
Give me a nature check. First
All
roll
right.
of the day.
Oh God, that's
Let's
right.
go.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's see how this goes. That's an
We
8.
have to roll dice in this game.
I know, we're 45 minutes in. Let's roll a fish or two.
That's an 8.
An 8.
Can I beg the DM?
Yeah,
Can
sure.
I beg
Always.
the DM? Oh, hold on. Let me talk to you.
Person to person. Can I beg the DM that the macadamia nut cookie helped inspire the thought processes?
Absolutely. Is this actual like bardic inspiration? Is
Like
this
a help action?
Absolutely. Please tell me how you help when you hand over this cookie.
I know for a fact that Giuseppe always
decides to study and keep focus. And I know the one thing that helps them keep focus and keeps their mind at bay is the macadamia nuts that they used to have when they were kids. And this is similar to that recipe, added with a little cinnamon that maybe nobody even knows.
Ooh. Yeah. So yeah, Giuseppe, I'll give you
Amazing.
advantage because you've got this delicious cookie, and munching on a cookie always seems to help.
A what?
21.
Oh, nice.
It went from a 6 to a 19. So what happens is Giuseppe kind of like takes a cookie, is like, oh, so good. Oh man, yeah, come on. Remember when Mom used to make the? I mean,
I love it. So there's not much of this fish that you can see. And once again, the artist was obviously focused on the two gentlemen in the picture and not the fish. But there's just enough of that lip kind of sticking up there and a little bit of the coloration. You're pretty sure it's a mahi-mahi. And you know that several of the civilizations that are connected through the Radiant Citadel, one of them, Sansatlan, they actually have a place then where you can kind of go away from the city up into some of the more greener areas and go fishing for mahi-mahi.
Terribly sorry.
You okay there? You okay there, Giuseppe? Did the friend slip?
fine.
Don't worry, you're with friends. You're with friends.
I do believe that is a mahi-mahi. Perhaps we can grab one and kind of use it to jog his cold, dead heart.
I know a great recipe for that.
I think we're going to maybe want a live one or one that isn't already cooked.
Oh,
I mean, I could point you in the direction of both of those things. I believe mahi-mahi are found pretty regularly in the markets. Definitely.
So yeah, I think your average like fishmonger's mahi will do.
Fishmonger mahi, absolutely. Oh, there's this absolutely great place down the way, and yeah, he will explain near the trades district where you can find pretty much any food that you're looking for. And so, if you would like, and you can decide whether you want to go on your shopping expedition all at once or kind of go catch as catch can. You can absolutely get either a live or a already dead or a cooked mahi-mahi. You have the range.
Amazing.
All right.
Anything else?
Nashay, I know that you did your best with your uncle's impression. Is there any way that I could influence you to maybe try the business partner's voice, Gelta? I know that's probably a stretch. You might have not even ever met him, but
I did meet him a couple of times. Let me roll a performance check and see what I get.
Ellie goes over and also like reaches up a claw, and again she looks like she's has a little bit of trouble with her hands. They're like, she tends to have a little bit of pain that flares up in them every now and then. But she walks up and she's like, I believe in your performance and your ability to help us in this endeavor for this positive cause that you are attempting to wrangle us into, even though I do admit a direct conversation with your relative might also work better, but that is me reserving judgment for another occasion since you are paying us, and I'd like to get my wife something nice and cast guidance on them as well.
All right, that's a D4.
Nice.
Yes, that is D4. It's just like a little pat, and it's just like this little globule of like snow, but it's like gray energy, but it's a snowflake that's in the shape of like a dragon claw.
Oh, that is absolutely lovely. And so Nashay looks really nervous, and as he nods and takes a moment and thinks about, well, I met him, this was a while ago, he passed away not long after this. He kind of sounded like, meh, I am not a very nice man. As I rolled a 5. So yeah, you could kind of tell that this is a very kind man. This is a very loving man. This is not someone who should ever be doing any kind of performance. Yeah, he always sounded very harsh to me and very nasally, but I don't know if I could really describe it more than that. I'm sorry.
Well, that's fair. I appreciate the effort that you put in to try and, thank you, Ellie, for your little nudge there. Always good to see you doing your best. You really do the best all the time.
Thanks, hon. You're awful special and sweet to me. I try and do my best. I even flavor them for you whenever you need them. You see, she does the guidance on a mobile, but instead it turns into like this little like snowflake scythe that looks like it's dripping like red and black dots on it.
Ooh, I love it.
She is a grave cleric. There's a reason she looks at the dead all the time.
Mhm.
Well, listen, that changes a person. I'm sure we can get away with an attempt, and we can do some effects. I can add some bagpipes in the background. We'll make it real scary. All right?
Oh my God, Yakumo, do you want to pull out our old bagpipe routine?
You would do that for me?
I would do that for the macadam for you.
It's a holiday miracle. Let's make it happen.
Like over to the side, over at Ka'ana Hana Babana Banana Fana Fafana.
Yeah, that's the full name. That's the full name.
How many more of those cookies you got?
Enough to keep you focused for the rest of the night.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
All right.
Yes, I would.
The
do
rest
that
of
for
the
you.
day is the rest of the day is yours. You if there's anything else you'd like to do to plan, if there's any other questions you'd like to ask, what else would you like to do before the evening is about to come? Yes.
I would like to please go and find some magical glowy paint, if such a thing exists.
Well, it does now. Okay. So are you looking for writing paint? Are you looking for paint a wall paint? What kind of paint you're looking for?
I am looking for like spray painting a message scale paint.
Okay. Yeah. I believe I'm gonna the DM is thinking of something real quick. The slip of his no, that's a mood paint. So yes, what color are you looking for?
I'm like halfway out the door. I turn around. What was his favorite color? The dead guy.
Oh, I'm not sure, but I'm going to say black because that's how they like the ledges to be.
Pick a different color.
The brown,
checked
because
your
that's the next closest thing to black for ledgers.
I will figure it out. I'm going to look for I'm going to look for kind of like what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for black paint and then silver paint.
Yeah, you can very easily find, especially if you're not looking for magical paint, you can find every color in the universe. For magical paint, you can find a couple little pots of pretty much any color, and it's all going to get paid for. It is. Are you looking to put this on objects or people?
Objects and people,
Okay.
actually. The silver's going to go on people.
Okay. You can put this on. Oh, there it is. Finally, marvelous pigments. I knew there was a thing. Go ahead and roll a D4 for me.
All
and
right.
add 1. D4 plus 1.
5.
Excellent. You are able to find a vendor who is selling literally boxes of marvelous pigments, and there is a set of 5 that you get. It's a really nice wooden box with a brush. And if you look up marvelous pigments, these pigments allow you to create 3-dimensional objects by painting them in 2 dimensions. You can also
it's that one.
It's that, yeah, because like it's a one-shot. I should give you fun things. Each pot of paint is sufficient to cover way more than you ever need. If you want, you can use the paint to create real things. You can use it to paint on things to create real things. It takes 10 minutes to cover a lot of space, but if you're just doing something small, I will say, because I don't think it talks about on people. Paint and energy, paint. Okay, so I will say if you want to paint on people, they must be willing. You can't paint an unwilling sentient creature, but if they give you permission, you can paint on them. And you can't do anything harmful to them. But otherwise, go have fun with some marvelous pigments. And one of them is silver and one of them, you said brown or black? I forgot.
Black.
Okay, so you have a silver, a black, and then roll another D4 for me.
Oh God. All right. 2.
One of them is orange. Roll it again.
Ooh. 4.
One of them is blue, and one more time,
Right. 1.
and one of them is red.
All
So you have
right.
red,
beautiful.
orange, blue, silver, and black.
Oh yes. I'm gonna pop that in a chat so I have it in writing.
Sure thing.
As Giuseppe comes rushing in, like little arms full of little arms carrying like 4 pots, and in their tail they've got like the 5th one kind of like grasped, like dragging behind them. Shit, look at that. What you got? I went looking. I was thinking.
Pick one.
I was thinking that we can paint the walls of this person's office, splatter it with silver stars, and put a fish in the middle of it.
A real fish? Nail it to the
A
wall?
mahi. Well, maybe the fish on the floor.
I'm interested
I
to see
feel
where
like-
it goes. I'm on board. You know us never say no to an idea, especially involving fish.
That's your mistake.
I want that on a t-shirt. Never say no to an idea, especially if it involves fish.
I have a document.
Somebody will be
where
working
I
on that
write
right now.
All the t-shirt ideas, I will add that.
I will buy that. Absolutely.
You'll get royalties.
I do have something for Kahanaha to to focus.
Even
you want
you
from me?
can't say it.
Kahanaha. Anyway, they would like to go into the city where the nephew told them where the mahis might be, get a few real or live ones, and bring. Well, how would one bring them? Get a few dead ones and start to make dinner for everyone, including the nephew, to kind of get them in the mood and everything. And that will be using my cooking feat to give everybody a little boost on all their things for the night, as well as trying to get that smell perforated around all of us of the cooked dinners of the mahi mahi, as well as making a plate to put in another baggie. So when we coaxed him out of his room and maybe bring him into the room where everything is painted, as Giuseppe is making that plan out to be, there will be a plate of cookies and a plate of mahi mahi.
Yeah, and absolutely. You're able to get especially if you're looking for cleaned and prepared fish, absolutely. You can get as much mahi as you would like. And just out of curiosity, what kind of flavor profile are you going with the mahi? Especially the plate you're going to make for the uncle.
I
know I ask all the serious questions as a DM.
This is wild because my personal is just like, yes. It will be
Blackened.
I was gonna say a barbecued mahi
Blackened like
with,
his soul.
with a Cajun rub.
Ooh. And your employer, Nishay, is over on the side, and you can almost hear his mouth watering as you're preparing this mahi. It is palpable how much he thinks and how happy he is that his house now smells like this.
We made him a plate too, right?
Yes, everyone in the house, and then I'll have
Okay.
an extra plate to the side for our prey. I mean our
Grumpus.
Yes.
Oh, that is incredibly nice. Thank you. I wasn't going to ask, but that smells absolutely amazing, and he digs in.
Oh no, yes, please eat.
Anything else you would like to prepare before you head on over to the office?
Real quick, how approximately, if you had to guess, I'm sure they weren't, how old men are with their ages, right? Approximately how old was the business partner when he passed?
Both of them were in their late 40s. I don't know the exact age. But yes, both of them were in their late 40s when he passed, and now my uncle is 56, I believe. not terribly old for, a human. Still has many years left, especially if, he takes care of himself and finds joy in life again.
Amazing.
How tall is Nishay? Is Nishay a human?
Yes. So all three
Sorry.
of these, yeah, no, that's okay. All three of these men that we've been talking about are human. The two that are related, the nephew and the uncle, you can immediately see the resemblance when you're looking at the picture and then you're looking. Both of them are kind of a little on the short side, a little on the rounder side. They're both men who are probably not athletic. They probably are spending more time enjoying amazingly prepared barbecued mahi than they are, running, jumping, having some fun. But they both have, they're both kind of just average looking humans,
Sure.
darker hair, big brown eyes. The nephew in front of you has smile lines, and the uncle, the picture that you looked at has some of those smile lines, but the description you're getting, there may be more frown lines now.
And then, so the question that I have for Nishay is, what is, it's got to be maybe a tan or a black color. I'm looking for, what is the longest jacket that you own?
I've got several. Is there a specific thing you're looking for?
Some kind of like, a windbreaker or trench coat of some kind.
Okay. Are you looking for something? I've got a couple of those. Are you looking for something that's thinner or thicker? I've got a winter jacket that I've gone
Big.
to big.
We're looking for big.
Just
Okay.
Voluminous. Voluminous.
All
I
right.
think is
Something
the
that
word.
perhaps all three of you standing on top of each other could fit in.
I mean, that wasn't where I was going with it, but since you brought it up, that's an excellent idea.
I felt like I was part of the planning process, and I saw where your mind was going. I have just the thing. And he leaves and goes off to his, what you assume his bedroom, comes back with a very long brown trench coat. It looks practically brand new. And he talks about how this is something that he had just bought, but hadn't really had a chance to use. It is a very simple, for him, it's actually a little too long because he's a little on the short side. Buttons down the front, very simple but stylish brown trench coat.
By the time he comes back, she's already fallen back asleep. So as he, I imagine, like nudges her to wake her up, she just goes, "And my claw," and takes the trench coat. Perfect. Ellie, Mobald, come. And she works out a plan with them.
Yeah, I think the whole time before, while Ellie was while everyone's been talking, she's just been like on the floor giving like a foot massage to Mobald and to Ethel whenever she could. Like if Ethel was like sleeping, she didn't want to interrupt her napping. But you just see her like occasionally speaking in like a couple of different languages, and you just because thaumaturgy lets you make an instantaneous sound. She's just playing like soft music that was played during their wedding, just in the background, and then switching over to Mobald. She's just like being very attentive to both of them as much as she can. Which he walks over for this.
Some bagpipe music just interrupts the beautiful tinkly interlude as
Yeah.
Wake up, Ethel, come on. We got work to do. Come on.
And my claw.
And my bow.
And my
All right.
sword.
Are we good here? Are we gonna get to the job?
And my trench coat.
Yes.
I love that
And your trench coat.
Is it okay if that maybe doesn't get back to you in exactly the same condition? Because we've tried this before and there's some fire damage off it. Have we signed a waiver? Do you need a waiver? Don't worry about
Yeah,
it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Well, hold up.
Listen, I'm more than happy to sacrifice the trench coat if it means that this all goes off without anyone dying. So yes, I mean, the trench coat is yours. I can get a second trench coat. I can't get a second uncle.
That's beautiful.
I mean, depends on who you marry, but
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, but that's a whole different conversation. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Was there anything else I could help you with?
I think we're all set.
So the Radiant Citadel, in a weird way, does not have day and night. The actual island in the astral plane that you are on, all of the light comes from the auroral diamond, which is the giant, beautiful diamond that kind of arcs through this island. It changes color on a very regular basis, sometimes on an irregular basis, and it never is the same exact color twice, but it's always bright enough to illuminate the island. There are clocks everywhere, just mechanical marvels that keep very precise time so that everybody kind of knows what time of day it is. And everyone has blackout curtains on their windows so that those that need it to be dark to sleep can do that. So as you all hear the clocks ticking over to 7 o'clock in the evening, as people are starting to come home, as it is now the evening before the holiday, you step outside of Nashay's house to see that it's a little more foggy than normal here on the Citadel. There actually is never any weather, but what you expect, and so you know it's going to happen. Part of the holiday, because this was something that actually happened when they discovered the Citadel. There was all these wild magic storms that were going on that they had to clear out before they could reclaim the Citadel. Druids have summoned clouds to snow onto the streets and the houses and the areas of the Radiant Citadel. It's still a little on the warm side. The snow's not going to last much past the morning, but everything is blanketed in this very fine, gorgeous white snow, which helps dampen the sound a little bit. And when it's falling from these magically created clouds, it helps diffuse the light. So for the first time in a while, it's almost as though it's twilight here on the Citadel. And it's very pretty, maybe a little ominous, depends on your point of view. It's supposed to be very soothing and very quiet. So you're very quickly able to traverse town however you would like to get to the business district where Octnet has his office. By the time you get there, the vast majority of people have gone home. In fact, normally all of you would have gone home and there would be a meal. Traditionally, this would be a time in where you would all spend time remembering loved ones who have passed and then getting a good night's sleep, because tomorrow is a lot of parties. It's a fun day. But as you approach the office of this business person, you see it's a very plain building, door out front with one of the windows, and there is a sign overhead that, unlike a lot of the other businesses that have, really nicely decorated signs, some even have magical lights on them, this is very plain, very stodgy almost, and it just says Necht and Gelter. The window that you can see through, you don't see any light on the inside, but you're pretty sure the blackout curtains are drawn. There is the door in the front, and you stand outside. What would you like to do?
I throw a snowball at my brother. That's
go ahead and roll a ranged attack.
Oh, buddy. I'm great at those as a bard, I'm sure. Oh my god, I rolled a 19.
That slightly hits.
Okay.
I'm not a ranged attacker by nature, but when it comes to snowballing my brother, expert.
There's no damage, but where do you hit your brother with this very fluffy ball of snow?
So as we've been walking along, I've been behind him the whole way, and I've been waiting for my chance, and I aim right for the back of the neck so that when it explodes, it all kind of goes down the back of the neck of his shirt. And
you are an evil person. You are
You've done this
actually
before.
an evil person.
I've done this many times before. This is how we show love, right, Giuseppe?
So Giuseppe is minding his own damn business, walking along, and it kind of hits him in the back of the neck. He stops, and you can see his shoulders start to creep up as it goes down his back. He reaches back to feel it, slowly turns to look at you. I will remember that, brother. And flips up the hood of his cloak.
Oof.
Just nudge whoever's next to me, like, needs to lighten up.
I think Ellie might be next to you, just watching behind Mobold and Ethel. At least that's where I'm imagining her being, and she just like pokes Giuseppe on the shoulder. Hey Giuseppe.
Oh, yeah, what's up, Ellie?
Giacomo thinks you should lighten up a bit. And I agree with him. And then she turns over and she raises a claw and uses mold earth to cause 5 feet beneath Giacomo of ground to just fall under.
I'm going to.
So go ahead.
As this happens, like as the snow settles, as soon as the snow settles and Yakumo seems to be recovering, I'm going to beat him in the face with a snowball with an attack roll.
Go ahead and give me a ranged attack. We were gonna redeem an uncle, but now we're just having a snowball fight. I'm here for
Just
it.
a detour.
Lauren's plans.
16.
Listen, I'm a DM. I have no plans
all
because
been
they
there.
have encountered the players. I'm sorry, what was your attack roll?
It was a 16.
Does that hit your AC?
Yeah.
All right,
absolutely.
once again, there's no damage. It's just a snowball, but where do you hit them?
Like, because we're kind of like facing each other and like they're just kind of like getting over like Ellie's cascade of snow. As soon as the snow settles, they're brushing themselves off. We make eye contact and I aim for the snowball to explode directly on their snoot.
No.
So it's like a shower of snow snoots.
Snow snoots. I start like snapping at all the little bits that have sort of exploded off like a dog. Have you seen a dog in the snow?
Oh my god. And the
Giacomo's
violin
just
comes out
laughing.
and Yakety Stack starts playing.
Giacomo's just laughing. Giacomo finds this hilarious and is having a great time.
I like it. And Giuseppe just cracks up laughing, just like absolutely dying. Like hard to stand up straight dying.
I'll come over and like sling an arm around you and just give you a little hug and a little noogie. That's way
Oh my
more
God.
like it. More of that, please. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
In the midst of the shenanigans, I imagine right about the time Yakety Sax starts playing, Ethel has. That's the one. Ethel has.
I'm a musician. I'm
slowly-
required to do it.
100%. Ethel has slowly made her way up the steps, kind of snuck around everybody and made her way. And she's already knocking at the door. She just is going to go straight into the dude.
Oh, at the business office?
Yeah.
Okay. You on the door. There's a long pause, and go ahead and give me a perception check.
Oh, shit, dice.
I know it's like we're playing a game or something, and every once in a while I actually make you roll.
Sorry.
How dare.
How is
dare.
Sarah the one who doesn't have dice out
Yeah,
of all
right.
the people in our cast?
That's not bad. That's a 19.
With a 19, you after a moment where nothing happens, you lean in a little closer to the door and don't quite put your head against it, but start to listen. And no one comes to the door at any point, but you very faintly hear shuffling, and you hear a voice from somewhere in the back of the office give a and then you hear another door closing, and then it is silence.
This bitch. I'm gonna try the handle. Is it locked?
It is locked.
Oh, did you get the
Does,
grumpus?
does Ethel say that out loud?
She says it to herself for sure. She'll turn to the group. He's definitely in there and must be expecting something, but we need his attention, right? That's the plan. She doesn't even wait for anybody to like approve or to try and stop her. And she'll use thaumaturgy and just get her voice a little bit louder. And she's gonna say, "We have a business proposition. You like money. I do too. Come to the door and talk to me. You coward."
was going to ask for a persuasion, but now I kind of want an intimidation. I'll let you choose whichever you want, persuasion or intimidation.
They are equally sucky.
I'm gonna go. Can I like pull out my my pan flute and just kind of like play eerie music under the door to give her inspiration?
Are you giving bardic inspiration or is this just the help action?
I think we'll just do the help action.
Are you remind me, Ethel, are you rolling persuasion or intimidation?
They are equally +1. I would say she's trying to persuade. She's like, you know, like sometimes older people don't realize they're being ornery. They just they think that they're being helpful by just telling everybody to do what they want to do. So she thinks it's persuasion for sure.
All right. Giuseppe, if you would rather play enticing music than spooky music.
We'll go with enticing music, like elevator music or something.
Your
like-
definition of enticing music and mine are very different.
I just started hearing a walking bass line because of elevator
You know
music, so
what?
I just hear
Careless
boom,
Whisper,
boom,
you're right,
boom,
Ryu.
Boom, 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 boom.
No way.
On a
Coming out of a
Pavana.
bagpipe.
It
Yep.
takes
Careless
a
Whisper.
second
I mean,
before they figure it out.
yeah, bards are magical and they make weird things happen. Okay, because you're playing enticing elevator music, go ahead and roll with advantage.
To be fair, Lauren, what you don't know is that Jin works at a major American corporation that probably is legit been brainwashed into them. That's a little bit better.
Look.
I'm not wrong. You didn't tell me I was wrong. That was a 15, so a little bit better.
All right. You use your thaumaturgy to yell this out. Fortunately, as you look around, you can confirm that the streets are clear. The rest of the businesses are they've got to be empty. There's nobody else around. So the only person who's going to hear you, even with the thaumaturgical amplification, is going to be your friends and whoever is inside this office. You say this, there's another pause, and then you hear a door open from inside, and you hear grumbling. Right.
I'm going to go hide.
All right,
I'm
give me
gonna
stealth check.
hide. Okay. Yeah. Wow, that was terrible. 10.
10. Okay, noted. How do you hide? What do you do to hide?
I want to hide, so if you're looking out, if there's a peephole. If you're looking out the peephole, I want to be right outside of the fisheye vision, off to the side of the door. So if shenanigans afoot, I can grab the open side of the door and keep it open.
All right, you press
Just off to the
yourself.
side, yeah.
Yeah, you press yourself up. I'm going to say to the side that doesn't have the window because it gets you a little bit further away from being seen. Mission Impossible style, just right there. There isn't a peephole that anyone can see, but the sound of the muttering gets loud enough that most of you can hear it because I'm assuming you're all at least close by the door. And finally, what you hear from inside, door does not open, but you hear, I am always interested in business opportunities, but my clerks are not in until the day after tomorrow for reasons of holidays. So I would implore you to come back at that time. We open at 8 a.m. sharp. Thank you and good day. And then you hear the clomp, clomp, clomp of someone walking away from the door.
Well,
I want to just kind of like.
Go ahead.
No, go.
I guess we're just gonna have to take our thousands of golds worth of business opportunity to the merchant down the street. I guess that's fine.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check with advantage. And then while you do that, Kiana, what were you gonna do?
Bye. Every time. I've done this to myself.
You have, and I'm here for it.
I just wanted to kind of do this, like, get him to open the door. Let him open the door.
I'm trying. 27.
27. You hear clomp, 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 and then the feet stop. There's 5-6 seconds of silence. And then clomp, 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 back to the door. And the door still doesn't open just yet, but you hear the voice on the other side say, "You have my interest, but it would be interesting that you'd find anyone else willing to work tonight. Do you really think it's worth trying to find someone else when I'm here?"
Kind of nudge Ethel.
Well, you see, this is the situation. You don't like this day, and we're willing to make you a bet that miracles do happen. So, it's easy money for you if you're right, but also our charge doubled when you walked away from me the first time. That was rude. So,
all of a sudden, as you say that, you hear click, 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 as several locks open, and the door opens inward just a couple of inches as the chain is still attached, but they've opened the door and peeked out, and you see a human figure who very clearly must be Octnet. Obviously older, a little more pale, a little more not disheveled as much as this is obviously someone who's been working all day and is burning the midnight oil, as it were. He glares out and says, "Double? I thought you were coming to me with a business opportunity. I'm not getting charged anything."
Listen, the Grumpus, that's how they described you. Dead on. Bonus
Bah
points for them.
fiddlesticks.
Listen, you don't believe miracles can happen, right? Right? Is that true?
The only miracle I believe in is the miracle of good business. Now, what business do you have with me? And if you're just going to talk in circles, then you can be off into playing in the snow like everybody else.
I can prove. My friends here can prove that miracles can happen. But it's going to take a wee bit of your time. 3 minutes, no more. And if we can't prove it, then you get this pouch of coins. And if we can prove it, you're going to pay us double. And every time you shut that door, it doubles again. Don't do it again.
Oh, if I shut this door one more time, I'm never opening it up again. You can be sure of that.
Is that a promise?
He eyes all of you. He glares a little bit longer at that. And he looks at you and he says, "All right. How much you wagering?"
I think I only have, if I'm holding my pouch, it's not very much. Can we do, well, she would not have cleared this plan with anybody. I can't even justify that she would have asked everybody for their money. She's just going to hold up a pouch of coins and just say, "It's easy money, 3 minutes. And you don't have to share it with clerks that aren't here."
There's no such thing as easy money. And he eyes the bag and he says, "All right, but you got to do it out here. I ain't opening the door for you. What do you want? How you going to do this?"
Oh, so you're a cheat. I just thought you were a businessman. Nope, this is inside or nothing.
Roll me a persuasion check, not an advantage, because now his glare turns
that's totally
suspicious.
Totally fair. Oh, it's only an 11. Shit.
He looks at you and
That's
says,
fair.
"I've got sensitive information in here that is not for prying eyes. If you can't do your little display out here, then I don't think you're going to find any miracles happening inside of my business." He
My
doesn't
good
close
sir.
the door, but he does continue to glower at you and he does not open it.
If I were to ask you to make gold fall from the sky, do you not think the best place to do that would be a bank or a place of, great money and such? Just like small miracles, large miracles also tend to be a little more fun in certain places. Don't you agree?
Are you going to make gold fall from the sky? Is that what you are implying? Is this miracle?
She's like the 10 coins that she has. I love that. That's fine. As Giuseppe is distracting our man here, I'm going to pull out a little bit from my other pouch. I'm still holding the one pouch. I'm going to pull out a little bit of sand, some dried rose petals from my wedding bouquet, and a cricket. And I'm just going to like put them all in my mouth, chew it up a little bit, and then spit at him and cast sleep.
Okay.
I knew it.
I was considering that, and then I decided not to. I'm so glad that you did.
I'm all right. I'm here for it. What is so if I remember sleep correctly, you roll a whole bunch of dice, and whatever the total is, he's gonna, if it's that many hit points, he falls asleep.
So hopefully
All
he's
right.
not an adventurer, because
Well, I'll tell you this, he's clearly not an adventurer. I mean, you heard already that he's not, this side of the family is not necessarily the athletic kind, and
Sure.
that fishing was probably the most athletic thing he's done ever.
The
That's fair.
athletic side.
come on, babies.
That's a big at
Oh,
least
wow.
one, Chin.
Look,
Look,
Ooh.
30 hit points worth of sleep.
Okay. I have one other question for
Sure.
you, because I love this spell so much, and I love making everybody think about this. What is the range on sleep?
It is normally 90. I can cast it 90 feet. It's a 20-foot radius spell, but I'm also a spell slinger. So as my feat, I took spell sniper. So I can be very precise with this.
Okay, so you can place it so that it doesn't hit any of your companions.
Correct.
Okay, so 30, because I was going to make your companions also fall asleep.
But you do what you need to do.
No, you know what? You took the feat. I'm impressed by this. You spit in his face, and there's this moment in where he goes to wipe it off and is going to obviously growl something out at you before his eyes roll back and he thumps asleep onto the
Aw.
floor. The door is still held by the chain, but it is
Um,
open. Use.
I do a shimmy
All right.
into the cracked door, and I undo the thing. If I need to do a dexterity to make sure that he didn't do some shenanigans, I will.
It's not that there's any shenanigans. Give me a dexterity just to be able to reach on in and grab the thing, because the door isn't open enough for you to sneak in, but you gotta reach. So give me a dexterity check. I'll let you
Okay.
do a sleight of hand if you've got it.
I'm gonna.
can I assist
Oh,
by using Mage Hand to guide her hand?
I'm gonna say no, because you can't see what we're
Oh, good point.
yeah,
Okay.
but give me that
Okay.
sleight of hand.
I'm gonna use my thick die. My thick.
Let's go.
Thick die. Give me a thick die.
I love that even
Um,
the dice sounds like a kobold.
thick die. That would be what is that? 12, 14.
Yeah, with the 14, it takes a moment. There's a little bit of fumbling as Giuseppe gets prepared to cast Mage Hand to try to help you finally kind of grab a hold of it. You have to kind of stand up on tippy toes because it's really high up, but then eventually you get it and the chain falls off and the door swings open.
Kick the door in.
You
That's
kick
what you get.
it starts to swing in and then you kick it and it goes ka-chunk. And fortunately, I think magical sleep doesn't get bothered unless you like shake the person. And if that's
Right.
not true, that's what I'm going to say. You kick the door open and before you is pretty much exactly what was described. There is the front office of this business. There's 6 desks. They look like Ledgerman desks. You can see they're cleared and locked up for the night. There's inkwells at the ready for the next time they come on in. Some basic furniture. There's 2 windows, the one that is on the front of the building and the one that's on the side. Both have the blackout curtains completely drawn. And there are 2 doors in the back. One which is closed on the right and the other which is open on the left, which leads, you can see, into the office of this uncle. And on the floor, snoring loudly, a little bit of drool coming out one side, is the person you've been sent to scare, Ochtnecht, still in a business type suit, although his jacket is off and you can see it hanging across the chair in the office. And yeah, you've made it into the office. And I think this is probably a good place for us to take a pause. We're going to take a little bit of a break, 10 minutes ish, so everybody can get a stretch and some water and a bio and maybe think about what they're going to do next with this uncle. I don't know if there's anything else that I'm supposed to say before we go to break. All right, there's nothing else we're supposed to say, so see you in a bit. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It is the night before Reclaiming Day, and our 6 kobolds have now broken into the business office of Aknecht, the uncle of their employer, who now lays sleeping, snoring, drooling on the ground. And you've opened the door. Now, sleep only lasts for a minute. However, you had all day to plan what you're about to do. So why don't you go ahead and describe to me what it is you would like to do so that when sleep wears off, we see what happens.
The second he hits the deck, I turn around, hand goes into Ka'ana na 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 pulls out the fish, and Giuseppe dives for this sleeping man, just like carefully cradles the mahi in his arms and just gives him a little pat pat, and then stands up and goes, "I got the paint," and goes to work.
I run over to Kobold and hand over my broom of flying.
Say, right, okay, knock your knees like this, squeeze. I know you know how to do it. Squeeze and hold it between your knees and it won't show, okay? I'll let it go when it's time. Don't panic. Can you balance? Do we
For
need some
sure.
strings or something to keep you upright? You're gonna be okay.
No, I got thighs of steel. I don't know who you think you're speaking to here. I got
I'm
it.
just checking,
We're
okay?
good.
I'm just checking. All right. Okay, we're good in this corner. Let's go.
I push in and I'm like, okay, someone help me get this guy into this chair.
Mobot will help before putting the broom of flying between their legs.
I look up from my painting and I'm like, "Don't forget the fish."
Yes, yes, okay. And I grab the fish and make sure that we set him up in his chair, holding the leaning off to the side with the thing. I was like, okay, I need my sous chef. I'm going to the kitchen. And I wiggle my gauntlet of the Crimson Crab to call my medium-sized sous chef crab. They can cut things better, okay? You know, it's fine. And we head into the kitchen.
It's a medium-sized crab. Do you know how big that crab is?
Big crab.
She rides it into the
Our
kitchen.
size.
We were
It's
talking
bigger
about
than me.
we were talking about biblically accurate angels, be not afraid. This crab shows up and in crab goes, "Be not afraid." And everyone's like, "That is a huge crab." I will say there isn't a full kitchen in here because it is a business office, but for the sake of this plan of yours, which I think is amazing, you come there's one of those office kitchens on the side. It's just like a little stove and a microwave and a sink, and there's just enough for you to work with, but it's nothing special. And I'm assuming by chair you mean the office chair in his office. Okay,
Yes.
cool. Please continue with your prep work. Sorry.
I grab the plates of the mahi from the earlier dinner, and I start grabbing the things that I have, and I start give the plates and everything to my sous chef crab, and then start heating everything up to waft the smells.
How fast can you make sugar cookies?
Yes. They were already mixed and everything. We just have to get them good. Cookie dough is better though. Either way.
All right.
I mean, why not?
I would
both?
like I would like to say that Mobald's set up at the other end of the table. So I'm picturing this as like a semi long dinner table situation.
It
Or is
can
this like
be
a desk?
I mean, he's got in his office, it's just a desk and a chair. It's actually a fairly nice desk. It's one of those big executive chunky wood desks. There's nothing on the top of it because it seems like and there's a couple of drawers that look like they were just closed before he came on in. So it seems like when the knock at the door happened, he like grabbed everything he was working on, shoved it into a drawer. So the desk is clear, but it's a big desk. So kind of kitchen table-esque if you wanted to use it in that way.
That's okay. If he's going to be on one side in the chair, I don't need a chair conveniently because I have the broom of flying. So I can be on the other side. Is it possible to grab a black letterhead ledger like they used to do, and like a quill or something to have in front of me, and just like jotting down some nonsense about what they spoke with Nishay, right? Nishay is the
Nishay's the nephew.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Perfect.
absolutely. You can very quickly open up a couple drawers that aren't locked, and you can find letterhead of Nectin Gelter. You can find a quill and a ink pot really very easily.
Perfect. I just want to set that up in front of myself. And then I'm gonna go over, and Mobald's just gonna kind of like try and help Giuseppe a little bit with paint, whatever that looks like.
Giuseppe's like, put a heart here and a star here. I need a star, a heart, and a horseshoe.
Okay.
Now, is this the special
Sure.
paints you're using, the marvelous pigments?
Yeah, the silver. I just need like I just had a fun thought.
Do it.
I need stars, I need hearts, I need more mahis, and I need coins, straw coins.
Now, is your
Alright.
intent to use the special paints to make those things real?
No, it's just
Okay.
to make them like glowy and pretty. And I'm also going to like sprinkle some of the silver on onto Mobold.
Okay.
So that they're glowing a little bit.
A
And also
glitter
as
kobold? You've made
Yes,
a glitter kobold
I've made a
essentially?
glitter kobold, yes.
Disco
Um,
Cobalt.
And I'm like, okay, close your eyes, close. And I'm gonna spread some of the silver on their eyelids so that it looks like basically like it's like they're like glowing eyes if their eyes are closed.
Keep my eyes shut. Got it.
Oh, I'm
And
gonna love that. That's gonna be
And I'm
great.
gonna go ahead, and I'll point at Yak and I'll be like, bagpipes, go. Routine number 5, and routine number 5 is going to be like a really intimidating, like battle ready, like very like pump uppy, and I would like to grant Mobold a bardic inspiration to use in sometime in the next 10 minutes.
Amazing.
I will absolutely rip into routine number 5. It's bagpipes. It takes a little bit of going, and it's brutal. It's ear piercing while it gets going. Thank God this is magical sleep. But by the time it does get going, it's got like a bass line somehow. It's got piercing, eerie top tones, and it fucks.
Wait,
And that gives Ellie bardic inspiration as well.
oh, fantastic. I love that. Question. So this is bagpipe routine number 5?
There are
Was-
at least 4 others. You do not
Was
know of
it-
an upward limit.
Was it written about Monica, Erica, Rita,
Yes.
Tina, Sandra,
Mhm.
Mary,
Yes, it
or
was.
Jessica by any chance?
It
Yes.
was.
That you knew
I got-
those is so impressive.
Only a
No,
little
I
bit of
didn't. I
Monica.
just looked up the lyrics right now. I don't want to
Admit
be
to
given more
you
credit than
had-
necessary.
That you had the
Yeah.
wherewithal to look them up
Yeah.
right
Mhm.
now is impressive.
Only a little bit of Monica.
Damn
Speaking
it.
of a little bit of Monica, Ethel is in her house slippers, the slippers of spider climbing, conveniently, and she is going to just go on up the wall and position herself real comfortably in the corner and channel divinity, which is Twilight Sanctuary, and she is going to position herself like in proper key light stage lighting setting for Mobald, so that she's just shining a real good backlight. We want Mo to look, the best that she possibly can, and
The breast.
that's
all
what
heard
it
it.
is. And yeah, the ace person definitely meant that one. And this sphere of twilight emanates from me, and it backlights Mobald to just give the best advantage.
All right. Any other? Yes.
Yes, my prep is gonna be that I'm just for like in front of the desk where we've situated our dear friend. I just use mold earth, and I make like indentations in the desk itself. This is you can do applied stone or dirt and such. So I'm just gonna like try and force it into the desk of just sort of having it'll disappear after an hour, so it's not permanent. I want to just essentially write out the phrase like fear not my presence, Aket, fear not my presence, Cat. And then I will immediately, trying to go through the entire thing that I'm saying here. Yes, I will then use thaumaturgy to cast to change my eyes so that they're glowing, because I'm allowed to change the colors to them, and then just present myself ready to speak to said individual once he wakes up, because I'm sure this is going to be a fun thing to explain.
I'm very positive it's going to be a fun thing to explain. Okay. Any other prep before the minute is up and this old man wakes up?
Do
Would
we
we
want
say-
the dancing lights for Mobold, or is that covered already?
Ooh.
I think light has been supplied by Ethel.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ready. I'm actually going to ready a slow spell for when he wakes up, so that not only is he like it's got that like ethereal quality of like time seems to be slowing down for him. We'll kind of like give it that otherworldly ethereal quality. So as soon as he starts waking up, slow.
Okay.
We are
We're hitting
bullying
with
this
that.
man. Also, slow has a big radius, doesn't it?
Of my,
just wanna
but
double
I
check.
get to choose. I get to choose.
Okay, I was about to
Slow.
say, I'm like, that'll mean I'm going slow too.
Yeah.
I'm already
And
slow.
I'm going to kind of like pile onto Yakumo's I'm going to kind of like pile onto Yakumo's dissonant whispers and shit. And I would like to kind of like add to them, and as a bonus action, as he's waking up, basically give him a reverse inspiration from the saving throw against sleep.
I
Or
didn't
not slow,
cast,
sorry.
I
slow,
didn't
my
cast
bad.
Dissonant Whispers yet, but feel free.
Well,
I have one
okay.
more thing
So
I
we'll
would
say
like to do.
for flavor, it's a little whispery.
Perfect. I did
So-
mention this earlier, but not in front of chat. I am casting. So you guys see Mobald is not at the desk yet because the broom has not been activated, right? So Mobald is off to the side, like, so there's the doorway, so off to the side and like peeking out with a hand extended, ready to cast Calm Emotions from as you know, so that way we've got slow and calm emotions. This guy's not going to know what hit him.
We are bullying this man.
I mean, that's what you were paid to do. Okay. All right. So I'm going to have a whole bunch of saving throws to do once I wake up. Anything else as you get into final preparations as the minute is about to be up?
I think we pretty saturated our minute.
Yeah.
The
Well,
last
like I
thing I'll
said,
do is activate the broom and send Mobold hovering like 10 feet in the air,
Yeah.
pushing the ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So as the minute comes to a close, as all of you have positioned yourselves and have positioned Necht in the chair with the fish, he comes to, and it's a sudden waking up because of the fact that it's a sudden sleep. So instead of kind of the gentle wake up, you see, and then so I guess slow is going off, and dissonant whispers, and something else is going off. So let's start
So
with
the
the
feature. The feature that I'm using is unsettling words. I was using like the whispers as kind of like flavor text for it. It's basically
Okay.
bonus action, expend a bardic inspiration, and he gets he gets like reverse bardic inspiration, like a penalty to his saving throw.
Okay.
So it'll be like bonus action, unsettling words, and then action slow.
All right. So he'll save for the slow. And then what was the other thing he needed to save for? The calm emotions, I think.
Yep.
All right. And then that's
That's
just a
a charisma
straight
save.
save, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
But I figure he probably doesn't have very high charisma. I don't know.
I just keep thinking about that this is a regular dude.
Yeah.
A regular guy. That we're
It
just
is
like
It is a regular dude, which is why, especially with disadvantage, completely fails at saving from the throw. However, he did roll a natural 20 in not getting his emotions calmed. So what happens is he wakes up and the slow hits him, but he's not calm at all. And he goes,
valid.
"What's going on? Why am I holding a fish? Who are you?"
On the point of who are you, I just cereal blows, snack, 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 and it's to its mouth. And it is the sugar cookies.
That was very good. What is going on? How did you move that fast?
I will. Angela, the player, is dying, but with an absolute calm that befits her status, and not the players, because the player is trying not to lose her shit. Ellie just kind of activates thaumaturgy in this moment, and I kind of imagine the booming part can also refer to like the actual resonance of the voice as well.
Oh, for sure.
And his name is, just to be clear, it's Aket.
It's Oct Necht. If you just say
Oct Necht.
Necht, he's basically referred to, like a lot of people, they're just referred to by their last name, Necht.
Gotcha. She just like steps up. Like I imagine the desk is probably, it's not taller than her, but it's close to how tall she is.
But you can tippy toe if you need to look over it.
Yes.
Or you can squat if you want to be hidden, whichever you'd like.
No. She is going to be shown. She says, "Necht, fear not the presence you see before you. I come on behalf of one who wishes to communicate with you."
Why did you give me a fish?
He wishes to convey sadness over the memories he cannot relish alongside you. I think you know of whom I speak.
Is it a fish person? I don't know many Aquans.
Toit sends regards. I speak for those beyond the grave.
And you watch slowly as his face, which was kind of twisted in fear and confusion and a little bit of anger, falls. And he instinctually clutches the squishy live. Is it live or dead? Is the fish dead? It's dead.
dead. Yes.
He squishes the fish a little tighter. You all hear a noise as he squeezes, and he goes, "Gilter is here, but he's been dead for so long."
And you see the thaumaturgy goes away because it doesn't last very long, and he says, he does not wish to make you afraid, though we apologize for that being the case if that has happened. He simply wishes to convey his wishes to you. And I work for they who would speak and judge the dead. And you see her eyes go like pure gray and silver, kind of akin to like how folks often depict like folks who lose eyesight and such. It goes that kind of like tone and color. And she says, "I see those who have not yet left the plane of the living, and I can see," like looks up above, "that there is someone here who, whether it is his original form or not, wishes to speak on your behalf. And this, I promise you, is his word." And then she immediately starts speaking in Celestial and in Infernal. She goes back and forth between the two of them to essentially indicate, to make it, she's just saying stuff to and pronouncing it in a way that makes it sound like a prayer, but she's just like, "God, I feel really bad to be doing it to this guy. Like, he's just a dude. I really feel like we could have found another way to do this more sharply." And unless someone else speaks Celestial or Infernal, they have no idea what Ellie's saying, but she just like directs his
Celestial, but
attention.
not Infernal. So I hear just, "God, I feel bad for this dude. And God, if we could have done..."
Yeah, basically you get like half of the conversation happening.
Also, I'm gonna go ahead and drop slow now that he seems to have like calmed his titties a little bit. Also because it only lasts for 1 minute,
Okay.
So yeah,
Lauren, the DM appreciates that.
direct. Our audience is gonna hate us for dropping slow. That was amazing.
You can always recast it.
That's true. She directs attention up above to, I assume where Mobold is, on the broom.
As thaumaturgy drops, as slow drops, Mobold drops from
And
the
Giacomo does a sting on the bagpipes as he looks up, and it's like
really laughing.
I'm gonna add some pan flute, some eerie, like calming.
All right. Okay. So, Mobile, do you drop from the ceiling? Do you hit the ground, or are you just suddenly appearing in front of him?
Just like a slow decline from the 10-foot that Yakumo had said I was. Like, just we've been practicing a little bit while the distraction was happening. So like I feel like Mobile finally has the thigh grip in order, the vice grip, as it were, on the broom, to be able to descend safely and make it look effortless, because ghosts don't use aids to float, they just can. So we're trying to do that.
Well, I'm going to say up until all of this has gone off without a hitch. You've done so much planning, so you effortlessly, and all these spells are going off, float in front of him as he's now getting over the slow, still clutching the fish. And what do you say as you appear?
I would like to apologize to anybody in advance if you can't hear me, because I did not practice this voice during our sound checks, but very softly, and we're going for, I interpreted nasally as maybe like a little bit of like a stuffed up, flat, medium old guy voice. So Mobald as Toydgelter says, "Ah, my friend, long time no see."
That can't be you. Gelter?
As who? It's the night of all nights. Why are you so against the Reclamation Day spirit? It's me. I mean, I feel like with everything you've seen thus far, with the fish, you remember the fish photo, and just kind of like,
he finally realizes what he's been clutching, that he's been holding on to, and he doesn't drop it, but you see a little bit of sudden fish on his face as he puts it down on his desk. And for the first time, the fear, wonder, awe, anger all kind of subside, and incredulity comes forth. And he says, "I don't believe it, because anything can be made to happen. I think I just fell asleep. This is probably a dream, you know? I just had some undigested beef, or bad mustard, or a crumb of cheese, you know, even an underdone potato can just make you think all kinds of things. There's more of gravy than of grave about you, whatever it is you are."
Go ahead and try something you wouldn't be able to do while asleep. I'll wait.
I mean, if this
And
is
put
a
a pen and
dream,
paper right in front of you if you want to try it.
what? All right, just to get this nightmare over with, what do you want me to do?
A just question.
Honestly,
Have some fun.
Who said that?
Eat this food.
in all honesty, I've been dead for a long time, and I really think that you should just have some fun for once. This day, it's not about holding on to the old thoughts of, what you couldn't do while you were alive. I mean, I'm dead. This day's about this is really killing my throat. I'm so sorry. This day's about really
Us old
cherishing.
people, we've just got the verklempt in the throat all the time. I'm so sorry. You should have some more lozenges now that you're dead.
Ooh. I did take a peek in your drawers. You got a few. Your selection's great.
The Werther's is the best. Hold on. And he reaches down and he pulls out a bag to hold out to you.
While he's reaching for the Werther's, I'm gonna cast message to Mo. To Mobile.
Hold that thought, Angela. Are you okay? Or are you just having fun? I'm just making sure I'm getting a T and not an X. All right. Okay.
Totally fair. We're used to Angela just disappearing in laughter, so we didn't even think twice about that. That's on us. I'm gonna send a message to Mo, and I'm just gonna say, "This is gonna hurt. You really need to convince him that he shouldn't end up like you, and then you got to sell it.
That's gonna be Mobald answers back, but you know what? I'm so cool. How am I supposed to be like, don't end up like me? Anyway, it's fine. I got it. You're the best wife ever. I appreciate
like,
the
mage
enthusiasm.
hand. I'm gonna mage hand grab one of the Werthers and slowly bring it.
Is your mage hand invisible? Or is your mage hand visible? I can't remember who gets what.
I think it's visible.
Okay.
It's visible, and it has a tattoo that says "Property of Giuseppe."
No, here we go. I've got it. I also have mage hand. So Mobald will, whatever hand that Giuseppe uses, I'll do the other hand and and drop the one Werther's on the floor and kind of, scooch it out of the room. And then I'll take one for myself.
Okay. I'd like the both of you give me sleight of hand checks at advantage. And then describe what your mage hand looks like. Are you trying to make them match, or are they different mage hands? I'll give you advantage because you're kind of working together on this. Okay. So
we're the same.
Bardic inspiration, Mobald.
Oh, that's right. We both have. You said you were silver, right? And I'm gray. So if our mage hands match us,
so
no, you're like
normally
silver red.
My mage hand tends to be gold.
Oh.
But a silver and a gold
silver
would also look pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a 23 for sleight of hand. I literally just want a Werther's.
That's a nat 20.
Oh!
All right. I mean, between a 23 and a nat 20, describe exactly what you want to happen, and it happens.
As Mobald realizes what is happening, Mobald will quickly it's kind of hard to do a mage hand at the same time that somebody else is doing a mage hand, so there is going to be a slight delay, but resisting the urge to do any kind of a handshake, Mobald will reach down at the same time as Giuseppe's does and grab a Werther's and grab two Werther's and kind of place one in Giuseppe's mage hand, but then make a real show of mine coming back up to me so that hopefully Giuseppe's goes unnoticed.
Absolutely. Yep. That goes off without a hitch as Nectis has put down this fish and is starting to look a little more concerned, like maybe he does think that something is going on, and says, I don't know why I taste sugar cookies and there's fish and that you're here. What are you talking about having fun? Haven't you seen how our profits have grown? I've done everything that we wanted to do when you were alive.
Right, but what have you done for yourself? I've been gone for so long. Have you done anything for you?
I made the bank account get bigger.
But that was ours. Well, I mean, what have you done for yourself?
I got the chair reupholstered. Do you not like it? And he kind of stands up and points, and you can see that it's a pretty good upholstery job, but he obviously did it on the cheap.
We shared that chair. What have you done lately with your nephew? How's he doing?
Nishay?
Yeah, Nishay.
He comes by every once in a while trying to convince me to go do frivolous things and just get away from here when I should be here doing the work that needs to be done.
Listen to me.
Right.
I know y'all are having a moment, okay, right? But if you call cookies frivolous one more time, all I'm saying is, okay, maybe I fed them to you a little fast. I want you.
Whoa.
Y'all can keep talking. I want
Are you the crab?
No,
Yeah,
the crab is in the background doing this. There's nothing to cut and nothing to do. But
why is there a giant crab over there? What's going on? Who are you?
Neither here nor there. I want you to eat these cookies, okay? I want you to inhale them. I want you to taste their nose. I want you to let them perforate throughout your mouth and your esophagi, okay? And I want you to remember what it was like the first time you had these.
And he takes one of the sugar cookies and he side eyes the giant crab and he side eyes Mubald, who looks like his former business partner, and he looks at everything else going on in the twilight.
It's exactly as described.
I mean, it is a good cookie. But I mean, cookies, you need money for cookies. You need money to make all of this stuff. And I've been doing that. You came back from the grave to tell me that a giant crab needs to feed me cookies?
No. Listen. Oxnecht, I don't have any family anymore. Let's be honest. What happens when you die? You're alone. You've got someone that cares about you very much, and all he wants you to do is go have a day with him. Why don't you go do that?
Roll me a
What's the
persuasion
point
check,
happen?
and I'll give you advantage with everything that's been going on. It's our first persuasion of the night.
And you still have bardic
no.
inspiration.
Yeah,
D8.
I do. All right. 21 plus a D8. That's going to be, there's my D8 roll. 28.
Nice. He looks thoughtful for a moment as you say all this, munches on the rest of the cookie, kind of unconsciously nodding in approval at the sugar cookie, looks at the fish lying on his desk with a mixture of confusion and remembrance, looks at the giant crab. And is that indicative of something? Am I supposed to go hunting for crabs or something with my nephew? Is that why you brought that?
Well, that's the stew chef. So it cuts really good stuff, and just it's really nice to get close.
Adds to the
it's
wholesome factor.
Wholesome.
wholesome crabs. Okay, all right. And you watch as Oct stands up and kind of brushes some of the cookie crumbs off of him, and brow furrowed starts to circle a kind of pace back and forth, and you can kind of tell that this is a thinking thing for him as he looks at the floor, kind of intentionally trying not to look at the crab, and says, I don't understand. We've always been so focused on the business of having the business be successful and making sure that we saved everything, and now you're telling me to just throw that all away for what? For a festival tomorrow?
Well, would you rather live longer? Your business or your relationship with your family? Because I'll tell you what, I was your family and I'm not around anymore.
Roll me another persuasion with advantage. That was real good.
I felt that one. I want to go work on my own family stuff hearing that one. Jesus.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
don't appreciate Lauren
Damn.
coming here and calling us out for working so hard all the time on this channel. This
To be
is
fair, we
not what
called
I signed up
ourselves out.
for.
We called ourselves out for that.
This was a holiday
still have
one shot,
bardic?
not an attack. Thanks.
Lauren, you're doing the work of every deity that's ever known goodwill, and sensible decisions need to be made by someone on this channel, at least
Do
in
not
regards
point
to
at
our
yourself.
well-being.
Don't embarrass us in front of Lauren. We're going to talk about this later.
We're in funny company.
I'm
Do I still
sorry.
have
You,
bardic?
you all have a giant crab. I'm so excited to be here. I'm sorry. You were talking about asking about bardic crabs. What?
Do I still have bardic?
I don't know. That's up to the bards.
It's a 20.
You used it.
Okay.
You only get one. Although the bagpipe music is ongoing. So if you feel aroused by the bagpipe music, and that's okay.
Oh,
I said what I said.
my wives aren't playing. I'm sorry.
It's turned into like sultry bagpipe music. Yeah.
Hi, Darcy.
Hi.
I started swaying on the broom a little bit.
I'm gonna join Sarah in that gesture.
I got a lot of gifts to make of this episode. Don't worry.
I do have bagpipes. Do not make me give it to my crab, okay?
For a second, I thought you meant in real life, and I was going to say, if you pick up your bagpipes right now and start to play, I will give all of you permanent advantage forever of all time, because I'm an oboist by trade, and you know I love a good bagpipe.
Never have I
Somebody
ever
find
wanted
an
to
instrument.
really have a bagpipe. I'm so
Same.
sorry.
That's okay. That's
Same.
okay. All right. So Necht stops and looks at you, and you see that for a moment he's really considering the weight of what you've just said, and he nods a little bit and says, "All right, I don't know if I remember how to do anything but be in this office, though. How do I even start? What do I do?" I mean, the ocarina is so close. It's good, but it's not but it's good. I like it.
Yeah. You know all those locks on your door? The first step's to go outside.
And he kind of pokes his head around you through the door of the office to the blackout windows and everything, but you can see that he's not really looking with his eyes. He's seeing just mentally what is outside. And he looks back up at you, and I'm going to assume there's a plate of cookies somewhere. He's going to take another cookie, because why wouldn't there be an entire plate of cookies? He kind of munches on one and says, I mean, if you say so, I guess I can try. And then all of you hear a strange noise, and a chill runs up your spines as the room gets colder, and smoke starts to billow on the ground in the back corner of the room. And just as Necht is saying this and eating this cookie, out from this ethereal mist steps a figure, a humanoid figure, smoke drifting off of their lower torso, but definitely from the waist up, a human in translucent blues and purples with slicked back black hair and a smirk of a smile.
Oh no.
And suddenly an actual ghost of Toit Gelter appears.
No.
And the ghost says, that is enough of all of this. He was mine. He is mine. How dare all of you get in the way? And Necht is now just wide-eyed looking at all of this.
Okay, can I
just
say
like, we didn't know this would happen?
that like 5 minutes ago, I messaged Mo and I said, I have Moonbeam ready to go because I want you to really sell, like, don't end up like me, you know, and like really sell it. I can send you a screenshot that I did send that message if you need proof. Can I immediately cast Moonbeam on this ghosty bitch?
I mean, if y'all want to immediately attack him, I'm here for it.
100%.
All right. Go ahead and roll Moonbeam, and then I guess we're just jumping right into initiative.
And Mobold screams, an imposter!
I love this so much.
Oh,
Wow.
it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Only 15 points of radiant damage.
Okay, but what, I get a save, don't I? What's the save?
Oh,
think it's
sorry.
con.
14. Con 14.
Con 14. I only got a 13, so they will take the full damage. All right.
I was not expecting this.
So yes, this actual apparition of Necht's partner appears and says these horrible things, and then out of nowhere, the light of the moon descends upon this ghost who, light! Who wants to be out in the sun or the moon or whatever that is? We can all roll initiative.
Oh my god.
I love that you're all like, let's talk, let's fight. All right.
Kahana has been waiting for this.
Well,
I also
Kahana,
love that it was initiated by Ethel of all people. That
Right?
makes me smile the
And
most.
my claw, bitches. This is what we came to do.
I love it.
He sees a toxic ex and she says, no, absolutely not.
Have you seen our Twitter thread? We will drag the toxic exes.
I totally wish I'd named this person Toxic X. All right, Kiana, no. What'd you get for your initiative?
A 9.
9. And Ethel
11.
and Yakumo
20.
and Mubald.
Nat 20.
Oh, nice. For a total of what?
22.
Excellent. Ellie?
Also
Oh,
muted.
you.
I pressed the button coming. You know what, Zoom? We're gonna have a talk later. There's a lot of things we have to talk about later. That's an 8.
8. And Giuseppe?
15.
15. All right. Let's see what this ghosty ghost is getting. All right. So at the start, So this moonbeam descends. Everybody kind of is startled by this sudden attack, including the ghost and his alive business partner. And Mubald, you get to go first. What would you, and I believe not only do you get to go first, but you are still pretending to be Toit Gelter. What would Toit Gelter like to do to Toit Gelter?
Toit Gelter would like to not actively hit anything. So I'm going to use my bonus action to Draconic Cry, which is my bonus action, because I'm also, I think, the only person close enough to do this. I think I'm the only person within 10 feet of everybody, except for maybe our monk.
Sure.
But that's going to give everybody until the start of my next turn. We have advantage on all attack rolls against enemies that could hear us, and I'm assuming they could both hear me. Perfect. So that's my bonus action. And for my action, the monk is nearby. I'm not sure within 10 feet, but also very close to me, being the cook. So I'm going to give you Hukuna my bestie in the whole entire world. You're going to get Celestial Retaliation. So I'm going to channel all of my blessed energy. You kind of see the Werther's Original fall out of my hand as I move my claws in a circular motion. And there's nothing that really happens outwardly, but you feel bolstered by blessed energy as you get this. I'll send you the wording, but the first time that you're hit by an attack in the next minute, in the next round, the attacker will take radiant damage instead of you. So when that happens, I'll do the radiant damage for you. Perfect. And that's my turn.
Awesome. At the end of your turn, Toit Gelter is going to take a legendary action. And he will snarl at all of you. How dare you get in the way of him joining me in the 9 hells? I know that you're all going to join me there too. And he's going to use Weight of Chains. I need everybody to make me a wisdom saving throw. And I'll call out for what your for what you got. Let's start with the fake Toit Gelter. Mubald, what'd you get?
Only a 10.
That is a fail. Ethel?
Yeah.
That was a 14.
That's a fail. Ellie.
Wow.
23.
That is a success. Kiana, Nana.
I got an 11, and I don't remember if I have the monk thing to do the thing, so I guess an 11.
That is a fail. If you find the monk thing to do the thing, let me know.
Okay.
Yakumo?
A 5.
Oh, also fail. Giuseppe.
I do believe a 12 fails.
Yes. Okay. There is only one of you who succeeds. Everybody who failed, you are currently frightened of this ghost. Frightened basically means you've disadvantage on all attacks against this. So it's going to cancel out with the advantage you were just given. So it's a straight roll. You can make a save at the end of your turn to get out of it. Here's the other thing. I need everybody who failed to roll a D4. Oh, no.
Interesting.
Lauren, I have a question for you.
I have an answer for you.
How many people are in a 30-foot radius of me? Centered on me, so 15 feet out.
I'm going to say everybody. This is a small office, and you are all kind of in here.
Okay. My Twilight Sanctuary allows whenever a creature ends its turn, the creature can get 5d, 1d6. Whenever a creature ends its turn in the sphere, you can grant that creature one of these benefits. 1d6 plus 5 temporary hit points and end an effect, including frightened.
Oh.
So when each of us end our turn, I will remove that from everybody who failed.
Awesome. So it sounds like all of you are only going to be frightened for one turn, so I'm not even going to ask for saving throws. However, I did need everybody who failed to give me that D4, and I think that's everybody except Ethel?
Ellie.
Or Ellie, I'm sorry. Ellie, yeah. So I see Mubald is a 1, Giuseppe is a 1,
No,
Giacomo is a 1, Kiana, no. Oh, 3? Sorry, what'd you
3.
get?
Sorry.
No, I got a 3.
3. Okay. Those of you who rolled a 1, you grow older by 10 years.
Oh no, I'm so
Wait, that's bad.
Those of you who rolled a 3 grow older by 30 years.
Yakumo, we're still the same age. We're still the same age.
No way.
Mobolds are age now.
As
you
no way, it's
feel-
older.
Wait. Oh
So
my
now
god,
I'm
you're
like
right.
50.
We are the Golden Girls. Mission achieved. We win the game.
I'm not mad.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Playing life on easy mode over here.
I love it. I love
Giuseppe
it
just
so
like
much.
starts laughing at Yakumo's like slightly more like tarnished scales and then looks down.
Okay, brother, you're still beautiful and youthful on the inside.
Thank you, you are too.
I know.
This was not the reaction I was expecting, and I love it so much. So as Toy yells out to all of you, those of you who failed this saving throw, you feel kind of the weight of life just pressed down upon you, and you feel that much older. The clerics in the room do know that there are ways to reverse this effect, but for the moment, there's no other detriments to this. Y'all are just a bit older, and that is the end of their legendary action. Yakumo, it is your turn.
Oh my goodness. That has shaken Giacomo to his core, but in retaliation, the bagpipes have never stopped. The bagpipes will never stop. This
As
is
they
true
should not.
rock music.
Can't
Indeed.
stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't
Giacomo
stop, baby.
begins playing again with renewed vigor and like starts pulling power from the earth beneath his feet and creates a moat of possibility. It is a small quartz stone, and it comes from the ground, comes from his music, and it shoots out at whoever is next in the initiative order.
Giuseppe is next with my ghost, and then Ethel in the order. So
It goes to my
I'll
brother.
put everything in the chat so y'all have it.
Beautiful, thank you. So a mote of potential streaks out and begins circling my brother, and this is a College of Creation Bardic Inspiration. So you have Bardic Inspiration, use it as a regular inspiration die, but also you get cool effects depending on what you use it for. So that's my bonus. And then for my action, I believe I'm gonna light this motherfucker up.
I love that attack. Go ahead and do
That's
it.
my favorite attack. You always
Yeah.
roll a nat 20. I think I'm going to try this one because this is a new one and I haven't ever cast it. It's called Nather's Mischief, and it just seems fun.
Ooh.
So I fill a 20-foot cube I can see within range with a Fey and Draconic magic. I want to position it if I can so that it doesn't hit anybody else. But if
You
somebody's
absolutely can.
the crossfire, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. So
Fortunately, this
roll-
ghost has appeared in a corner, so you can
was
place
convenient.
things.
That was so considerate of him. So I'm gonna roll on a mischievous surge. I don't know what effect this spell takes until I roll this d4, which I love.
I'm excited.
So I rolled a 2. So bouquets of flowers appear all around, and each creature in the cube must succeed on a dex save or be blinded until the start of my next turn as the flowers spray water in their face.
So they rolled an 11. I'm assuming that fails.
That is definitely lower than my DC 15. Yes.
Toit stumbles back a moment and says, "Ah, flowers, ugly, so useless."
Giacomo just laughs. The bagpipes turn into yakety sax again.
I love it. Anything else, or are you done?
That's my turn. That's a bonus. I'm not going to move, and that was my spell.
All right, Giuseppe, it's your turn.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do this thing again, where as a bonus action, I will use a Bardic Inspiration die to give him reverse inspiration on his next saving throw.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go ahead and I kind of like glance over at Necht over there. I'm just like, now for real this time. And I'd like to cast slow on Gelter.
Okay, what's the save? And I have a disadvantage.
Wisdom save 16 and then subtract a d8 from whatever it is.
Okay.
Because it's reverse inspiration like Bardic Inspiration, so instead of disadvantage, it's just a minus a d8.
Okay. Because of what he is, he has usually advantage on saving throws against magical effects. So in this case, it will just be a straight roll because of what you have done. And he
So,
rolls an 8
What I
without
did just...
even.
Oh, wow. Okay, then it doesn't
Yeah,
even matter.
so-
Okay.
Doesn't even matter. All right. So slow. Remind me, because now it's an effect that I need to know all the different things of, not just
Yeah, no
going
sweat.
through.
So I'm gonna put it in our chat. But TLDR, half speed, -2 to AC and Dex saves, can't use reactions. And on its turn, it can do an action or a bonus action,
Okay.
and it can take one attack.
Okay.
It cannot take multiple attacks if it has it.
Okay. All
And
right.
if it wants to cast something, it has to roll versus the fuck you know you don't effect.
I like it. I love it. All right.
Great.
You watch as Toit, as he's rubbing his eyes, says, "Why am I suddenly so slow?"
This is your worst nightmare, inefficiency.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
Ooh.
Psychic damage.
clip it.
Anything else?
That is all.
All right. It is his turn. What is he gonna do?
Well, when he starts his turn in my moonbeam, he's going to take another 3d10 damage.
Okay, roll that 3d10 damage.
Another 16 points of radiant
Nice.
damage.
All right. I think, oh, Giuseppe, you were just attacking him and doing awful
ruined his
things. So
day.
he is going to glower in your direction.
Inefficiently.
Inefficiently, and he's gonna say, "You'll know soon what it's like, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw."
All right, let's see
Gonna
how
use
this goes.
suffering echoes on you.
Oh, I love to suffer some echoes. Oh, that's
Hate
bad.
that name.
Don't forget, you can use your bardic inspiration on it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that because I don't think a 9's gonna do it.
No,
However-
add a d8. Roll an 8, please.
Will a 17 do it?
17
Ooh.
will. So you're gonna take half of this damage.
Thanks, Yakumo.
Whatever
So-
number you rolled on the bardic inspiration die, you now gain that many temporary hit points.
Oh, it was an
as-
8. How nice.
You gain 8 temporary hit points as the quartz shatters around you and kind of shimmers around your shoulders and glitter seeps into you and gives you an extra surge of power, elemental power, brother.
I'm beautiful again.
I always knew it.
So and this is already halved. You take 10 psychic damage.
All right.
And what you save from is, as he points an angry gnarled finger at you, a painful memory suddenly comes to the forefront of your mind, and for the briefest of moments you remember some awful thing that happened in the past, and because of the strength of your fortitude you're able to pull it back and remain in the present and don't suffer any other effects. But out of curiosity, what is the painful memory that gets pulled up?
The painful memory is the time when I knew something was going around the my performance class, and I knew something was going around, but I was like, I'm gonna go to class anyway. And then I caught scale pox and I was ugly for like a week.
Oh,
And I'm just like, Yakumo, tell me I'm beautiful.
and in this moment, what you remember as you kind of blink and shake this memory out of your mind is you're beautiful both inside and out and surrounded by your friends. And you're here to help this real person against this awful ghost whose turn is done. Real quick, do I get a save against the slow, or now that I've failed it, I'm just slow?
Let's find out. Yes, you do at the end of its turns.
And what was that save again?
Wisdom versus 16.
Wisdom versus 16. That is exactly a 16.
No!
So the slow does end. But
You know what? I
got
wasted
him.
a turn. I'll take it.
Listen, he could have done a lot more that round if you hadn't slowed him. So Ethel, it's your turn.
Okay. First off, Giuseppe's not frightened anymore since the end of Giuseppe's turn because Twilight cancels that. With frightened, that means that I can't move closer to him, right? That's what that means?
Correct. You can't move closer, and all your attacks are at disadvantage while you can see him. But it will only be for this round.
Right.
So your
And
attacks are
you've been-
normal.
Yeah, and you've been given advantage from someone doing their draconic cry. So technically right now, everything is just a straight roll for
Okay.
everybody.
Cool. Well, I, as a cleric, took nothing that is useful in this moment. And
I'm sorry,
currently
I would like to remind you, you've got a twilight sphere going up that is making everybody survive against the frightened.
100% and moonbeam. Look, I'm not complaining at the clerics are the best class. You and I have already discussed this. We all know that this is the truth.
Sounded like a complaint.
I will end you. I am the boss. Don't talk to me like that. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, my creatures may be here to destroy you, but Lauren is here to lift you up and tell you that you're doing a good job.
I appreciate that.
Love is frozen. Oh.
What can I do? I don't think that's gonna work. Nobody needs anything from me. No, I don't like this. I guess I will also, as an action, do my oh, it's not even an action. I legit. No, I'm quite happy. I will just I'm gonna hold a healing word just in case it needs to be used. And the second anybody takes damage, I'll drop a healing word.
I love it. Anything else?
That'll be it for me. And I'll end the fright on myself.
Perfect. At the end of your turn, Toit is going to take another legendary action. He's going to glare at Mubald, who has taken on some of his appearance. And now the gnarled finger is going to point at you and say, it is time for you to pay for this awful thing that you are doing. And I need you to make a intelligence saving throw.
What? Why'd you pick the one
that's
thing
scary.
I dumped?
This is
No,
why
that's a
you always
6.
care about intelligence, folks. This is
It's
why.
overrated.
No, it's not.
Ooh.
I will die on this hill. Intelligence should be should matter more in this game.
Well, it does very much right now. What'd you roll?
A 6.
All right, that is a fail. And so your debts are due. I need to know,
Yeah.
you're going to use your reaction. What
Okay.
is the thing that you have on you that has the greatest value? And I
My
don't
wedding
necessarily mean monetarily. What is the thing that your character would say means the most to you in this moment?
My wedding ring.
Okay, that's too dark. What's the second greatest thing that you have on you at this moment?
The game just leaked out in that
Lauren
moment.
has X-carded that, and we're going to go to the second greatest thing.
Unfortunately, my sword is what I use to protect my wives.
That makes more sense. You suddenly take out your sword, or you have it in your hand already, and you look down at it, and you have to use your reaction to throw it to Gelter's feet. Basically toss it to him as though a tithe is being paid. And he sneers at you and picks it up and looks at it, and then looks over at Kiana and says, and now you will pay for this. And he flings the sword at you.
You just did that too. Okay, come on.
You did it to a monk.
I know.
You did it to the weak one.
I know. That's 25 to hit.
Oh man, that just yeah. And-
Okay. Now I know monk stuff is going to do monk stuff. So you
Monk
do
stuff
your
is
monk
about to
stuff
do monk.
first.
Okay.
I will say that if you fail at your monk stuff, you're going to take 3 psychic damage, and the sword may take some damage as well. So do your monk thing.
Ooh.
While the monk stuff is happening, you take, because you attacked, 15 points of radiant from the thing I did.
Yes.
Okay. He will take that radiant. He will and hiss in a very unhuman way.
Hmm.
I need to catch this knife, this dagger, this
Sword.
This
Sword.
long sword, you mean?
This-
That's
this
twice the
long
size of a dagger?
this long pointy thing.
But it is currently a projectile, so
True.
It says I have to roll 1d10 plus 8 to try to reduce the damage.
okay.
Yeah.
I think if you reduce it, you catch it, right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you spend a
Oh, I'm
key
gonna spend
point
a
if
key
you want
point
to
to
try
do
and
it. Okay, so I spend a key point wherever those are. somewhere
Oh,
around
so
my-
you're just reducing the damage, just not to the hit?
No. Once I reduce the damage, I'm gonna toss it back to him.
Okay, so here's the good news. You don't even have to roll because it's only 3 psychic damage. So your bonus means, so describe to me you catching this long sword and then tossing it back to him, at him.
It's less of me actually catching it and more of me picking up my cast iron. That's not the crab. My cast iron pan that I have at my side and whacking it back in his direction.
And in the meantime, Mobold is just like monkey in the middle, just like trying to get their sword back.
Grab.
All right, go ahead and roll your attack with Mubold's sword that has been thrown by Gelter. I love monks.
Guys, I've been rolling so terribly. What would I add to it? Would it be Dex or?
I believe it's
Dex
just your
or
regular,
proficiency.
yeah, your Dex plus proficiency because it's a ranged attack.
Okay, so 11.
Sadly, that doesn't hit.
I figured.
Give me another dexterity saving throw though to see if you can manage to knock the sword towards Mubold. Not at, but towards.
Towards. Better dexterity save is going to be a 16.
Okay. So you go to whack the sword with your skillet, and at the last moment realize that just because of the way that this sword works, you're not going to be able to hit this guy. But you do think you can, do a gentle lob as the sword now lands back at Mubold's feet. And that is the end of
pointy objects.
And that is the end of all these reactions and legendary actions and everything. And it is Kianana's turn. What would you like to do after that?
Lauren,
Yes.
can we discuss how the crab could either be a beast companion or a summoned being?
Which would you
me.
like?
Yes.
Because I'll say yes, but I need to know what you want.
A beast companion would be real nice.
Yes. Name your crab.
Crabbingtons. Crabbingtons.
Crab ba ba ba.
Crab ba ba ba.
I don't know how. We've already put this in chat. This is what it is.
Crab ba ba ba.
Yes.
The more you say its name, the longer the name gets. I would love it if my Crabababa got close to this guy so that I still can't go forward. But I would like to throw a couple darts with my Krabby Crab doing the Krabby Crab clinky clinks on the ghost.
Sure. Go ahead and
Yes,
roll me some
thanks.
attacks.
I'm glad you understood what I was saying.
I was here with you to do the monk thing and the crab thing. Let's go for it.
This is a magic item now. It's called the name tag of extending.
You know. And if you don't say the names right, you just take psychic damage every time. It's wonderful. Okay, so I'm gonna do the attackies. Actually, I'm gonna do his attackies and the thingy.
All right.
So. Oh, was that damage or? Hold on. I didn't attack.
That's okay. And Ellie, you're on deck, and then we'll be to the
There we
top of, and then actually it will be the uncle. He rolled really poorly on his initiative. Gee, I wonder why.
I wonder.
Just
The
a guy.
18 to attack the ghosty with my crab.
That just hits. Yes.
Yes. Let me roll it damage. Just 6 damage from my crabby attack, and then I'm going to use mine to throw a couple darts.
Sure.
At you, boy. Here, I'm gonna do this. 13? I think that
13 does
misses.
not hit. It just it passes through part of the etherealness of this ghost, but does not connect.
Okay, and one more toss. Hoping for the best. Natural 20.
Yes.
Wow.
Roll.
Natural 20.
So roll your damage and then double it. Double all your dice.
So it'll be 7 doubled 14.
Awesome. This ghost, I mean, it's hard to tell when a ghost is hurt, but this ghost is starting to look a little rough and angry, and tatters of its form are starting to fray. Anything else?
That will be all for me.
Awesome. Ellie, it is your turn.
She stands up to like her full height. She's normally like hunched over and stuff. It's like, and yeah, it's like half an inch taller, pretty much. but it's significant for her. Listen, sir, listen. I have dealt with many who have not wanted to move on, and you perhaps are the biggest jerk I have met of all of them. No one, and I repeat, no one hurts my wives. I will show you this by enacting the vengeance of the grave upon you. And then she holds up her claw, and then she kind of like makes a cut through the air as a scythe spiritual weapon just appears right next to it to just try and like cut right through it.
I love
So
it.
we'll do that first. Unfortunately, that is a negatory on a hit. That was a
What'd you
4.
roll?
I rolled a 4 and then plus F4 plus 3, 7, 8. That was a 12 total.
Yeah, he's able to move to the side just a little bit and says, "I'm not leaving until I'm done with him," and points down at Neck.
I don't think you understand. When somebody tells you no or they don't want to interact, you have to listen to that. Otherwise, I will come for you and I will cut you. Or alternatively, I will let one of my wives cut you, and then like holds out both of her claws. And you just kind of watch as while the scythe missed, it cut through the air, and there's like little bits of like red snowflakes that then just sort of attach and latch onto the spirit, as she is going to use for free because it took an amulet of the devout, which makes this kind of broken. It's kind of nice. I use Path to the Grave, so I curse him.
Okay.
Next time I or an ally hits the cursed creature with an attack, the creature has vulnerability to all the attack's damage. And we have a paladin next. I would like, wife, I love you. You are, and then she immediately starts. She says that to Mobile, and then she immediately starts fussing over to Ethel, and was like, "You look even more lovely than the day I met you. Everything about you makes me smile and happy."
Is that the end of your turn?
Yes, that's the end of my turn because that's everything. That's all I got.
Watching this display kind of crouched behind his desk and the fish, you see Necht is looking at all of this and is watching that specific exchange very intently. And you can see there's a mixture of emotions on his face after everything that has happened. But one of the main things is kind of there's that awe, but there's also a little bit of longing at watching the love between the bunches of you. And Mubold, it is your turn. Your sword is at your feet.
It's a free action to pick it up, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So you guys see in one fell swoop, Mobald's feet meet the floor. So does the broom. And Mobald will reach down, grab the hilt of the sword, and charge at the ghost, completely leaving behind the facade of being a ghost herself. And we're going to swing twice on this thing. So that's a 17 and
that hits.
A 17 and a 26. Amazing.
Oh, that one doesn't. No. They both hit. Now, do they get max damage on just the first hit or
It's
on both
not,
hits?
It's just the first one. It's I'm just double checking it real quick. Yeah, it's next time. So singular instance hits the cursed creature with an attack. The creature has vulnerability to all of that attack's damage. So all I'm gonna say here is that, you know, if you pump a divine smite into it, it does double whatever you roll, because that's how vulnerability works. Because grave clerics, we will keep you alive, and we will make sure you go to the grave faster.
So with all of that in mind, what would you like? How would you like to do your attacks?
I am definitely smiting with both of them. And
right.
Here's my question for you, Lauren. Is this thing an undead or a fiend as a ghost?
It's so undead. It's very undead. It is the most undeadest.
So I'm gonna roll a total of, I'm just gonna roll 6d8 now then, because that'll be 3d8 per thing.
Well,
and
you have to
I
split
put
it
on
because
both.
only the first part is doubled.
Oh, okay. So we'll do the first 3 now.
Okay.
So we've got 10 damage plus 21. Is that doubled?
Yep. It's
That's
all of
52
your
damage
all
on the
of
first hit.
Yeah, it's everything on the attack. That's I knew
dead.
Mobile was everything on that
62.
first attack is doubled.
I think he's dead like
62.
twice. He's dead again.
I'm sorry. So how much?
Some would say.
How much was the
62 on the first attack?
awesome? You describe bringing your sword down on this ghost, and then hold on to that second attack for me for just a second.
Mobald the Kobold is going to look behind her at her two wives, ensuring that the glint of the light in the room glints just off of the wedding ring that you wouldn't let me give up, as the sword comes down directly at this ghostly thing's neck. And Mobald will, at the same time, wink at the uncle, kind of give an old, old oct-necked, the old "I'm the better ghost" bit,
As you
I'm
bring
giving
this
choice.
Well, and that's actually kind of perfect, because as you bring the sword down and you can see that now Gelter, this horrible spirit of this businessman, is holding on to his ghostly form by a thread. And as you wink at Necht, he points that gnarled finger over at his former business partner and says, "You always listened to me, and you should know that I'm right, and you should give up on all this frivolity." And Necht, who's been still cowering behind the fish, stands up fully and looks at you, Mubald, and looks at all the rest of you, and takes a big breath and says, "I think I would like to make up for time with my nephew." And it's with that, as Gelter melts into the ground, defeated by the love that you have for each other, you turn back to Necht, who is going to be slightly miffed at the fact that you were all trying to pull one over on him, but now feels the reasoning behind it, and has accepted that maybe he's let this bitterness in him last too long. And the next day, when you go to collect your pay from the nephew, you knock on the door, you do find that it's not just the nephew there, but it is a whole family, including Octnecht, sitting on the couch, enjoying sugar cookies and some really, really delicious mahi-mahi. And is with that, oh, sorry, Giuseppe, one more last thing.
One last thing is I would like to pre-order a balloon arch to their house. Take my portion of the payment, turn around and give it to and then turn and give it to the delivery guy, and just like shove the balloon arch into the house and be like, "Yours now."
I love that. I love that so much. And the delivery guy is overjoyed and goes off to buy all the mahi-mahi he can. And that is the end of my silly little one shot. Thanks for playing with me, everybody.
My emotions.
Thank you. And your emotions.
The holidays are the mahi-mahi you made along the way.
Happy holidays, Mazel Tov. I guess we'll go around the horn real quick and reintroduce ourselves. I know we're like a minute or two over, so real quick, we'll go in the same order we did. Angela.
Hello there, lovelies. My name is Angela. Use she, her pronouns, director of operations over for Girls Write These Worlds. And if you want to catch me soon, I'll be on here tomorrow evening. I believe it's 7 p.m. EST. While I'll be running Monster Hearts for a winter party where folks will get to play using the skins for Monster Hearts, but they get to theme it as fairy tale and winter fable individuals for their characters. And I may or may not have made a lot of very attractive NPCs, all inspired by various kinds of winter and or like holiday related like individuals. If you're wondering, yes, there is sexy Krampus. That's me for now.
But no sexy crab. I mean, we had a crab, so no sexy
like,
crab.
come
I'm
on.
working on it right now.
My job here is done.
And Sarah?
Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah. I'm the CEO here at Girls Run These Worlds. We have a whole bunch of one-shots tonight. A very Morkborg Hanukkah with Lauren is coming back for that. And so many shows throughout the rest of the week until Friday, every day at basically 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern time. You can check out our Twitter for that. And then you can find me tomorrow over on Vancouver by Night, where I am the DM for, it's behind me, Phandalin by Night. Our Lost Minds of Phandelver game is where you can see me next.
Awesome. And Mo?
Hi, I'm Mobald the Kobold. I'm going to call myself that from now on. I'm Mo. I'm the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer here at Girls Run These Worlds. And the next thing I'm doing, I'm running I Saw Mommy Kissing an Ancient Run Dragon, a homebrew adventure next Friday for our one-shot week. So please catch into these one-shots. This has been a great time for us, and everybody worked really hard making their stuff. So if you can support any of our creators, that'd be wonderful.
Awesome. And Ryu?
Hello. Hi, I'm Ryu, variety streamer, director for technical productions here at Girls Run These Worlds. And you can catch me Roll for Luck, next year. Roll for Luck will be back every Wednesday night. And but this week you can catch me again for Vampire the Masquerade, Holiday Calling, or Berlin's Calling, and Wednesday for Coffee and Chaos. You might see some more cooking shenanigans.
And now I desperately need some mahi mahi and some sugar cookies. Darcy?
It's a weird combination, but you do you. Hey friends, it's me, JC Darcy. I use she, they pronouns. I'm the director of operations here at Girls Run These Worlds. This has been an absolute blast and it makes all the work so worth it. I'm running Coffee Chaos with Ryu. That is going to be a great time. That's Wednesday, 1 p.m. ET. I'm also playing Under the Floorboards with Taylor. That's Monday, 1 p.m. ET. And then I'm going to take a break. And then I'm going to read through all the creator apps that people are going to send us. If you want to come run a show, come and tell a story on our channel. We want to help you get it on the air. Check out our Twitter. It's at Girls Run Worlds. Creator app is always pinned. Send us your idea. We'll help you get it off the ground. And if you just want to come play games, we've got casting calls by the dozen coming up. I think we've got 5 in January alone. And then they're just going to keep coming thick and fast. So come and join this community. Come and play some games. It's a real good time.
That's awesome. And Jen?
Hello. Hi. It is I. It is Jen. I've been playing your Giuseppe Bobbins, one half of the Kobold twins that Darcy and I have been dying to play since we met. I can be found on Twitter at JenBurb. And I am the Director of Information Technologies here at Girls Run These Worlds, which is a fancy way of saying I do the website. But yeah, other than that, I'm a fairly boring person.
Well, you weren't boring today. And I've been Lauren Urban, your humble DM. You can find me on the internets as OboeLauren. That's where I post all of my stuff. The only thing that I'll mention is Children Verte starting up again in January, where you can find me playing a druid for the amazing Deborah Ann Wall. So go check that out. Thank you to everybody for playing with me. This was amazing. Thank you for inviting me on your awesome. Thank you for inviting me to come do the Mork Board game this afternoon. I'm super excited. And Sarah, is there anything else that needs to be said?
I just wanted to say on behalf of all of us, Lauren, thank you so much for saying yes. And
thank you.
This was so much fun. We had no idea what to expect, and we know we could be a handful, and you are just a master. So thank you so much. And
my pleasure.
Thank you to everybody who watched, everybody who rated, everybody who threw a sub. We appreciate you, and we will see you later tonight. Bye, everybody.
Bye.